o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. This Rutgers report is brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. Rutgers basketball 5-4 to start the season, but into some Big Ten conference action now. They're coming off an 81-65 home loss to number one Purdue back on Tuesday night in what was their Big Ten opener. Tomorrow, another tough matchup. They're on the road in Ann Arbor against third-ranked Michigan. That game can be heard on WFAN AM and the free Odyssey app beginning at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon with our Jerry Recco on the call. Scarlet Knights have the week off before facing Seton Hall next Saturday night at Prudential Center as part of the Garden State Hardwood Classic. End of the line for Rutgers football this season as they came up short at home against Penn State last weekend, 40-36, 18th straight time they have fallen to the Nittany Lions as they failed to become bowl eligible after a disappointing season. They will miss the postseason for the first time since 2022. That was your Rutgers report brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. I'm Chris Lopresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Let's start today with some hot stove beats. I know it's Football Friday. We'll have all the picks and all that stuff later on. But some of the stuff from Buster Olney, talking about the juiciest rumor that he heard this week was the notion that the Mets could push the Phillies for Kyle Schwarber. I don't think I like this idea at all with Kyle Schwarber. We've talked about, now I love Schwarber's bat as far as the power goes. A ton of strikeouts. That doesn't play well to me in the postseason. I'm not saying he can't be clutch, but you see the Phillies struggle in the postseason. Has no versatility. If David Stearns is talking about defense, and run prevention, well, where does Kyle Schwarber fit in there? At this point, I think that's a mistake, and I'm not sure I believe... I'm not saying I don't believe Buster Olney. Of course, I believe him as a reporter, but it's rumors around it, and maybe it is just trying to drive up the price on Schwarber. It doesn't make sense to me the way David Stearns operates that they would go after Kyle Schwarber.
I don't know why you don't like this. Every time this comes up, I'm like, Kyle Schwarber's a one-man wrecking crew. I want Kyle Schwarber on the Yankees, but obviously the reports connecting him to the Mets is what we're talking about. I mean, I look at it this way, Sal. Too many times you and I came in here last summer, right? And obviously in the fall. And, of course, the pitching was the theme. You know, 2 innings, 3 innings, 4 if you're lucky, go to the bullpen. That was the story around the 2025 Mets. But I think one of the big stories around the Mets the last couple of years, even going back to Buck's really good season, 2022, I think it was 22. Yeah. In 2022, like the Mets' designated hitter spot has been just... It's been vacant. You've had a little Marte, you've had a little Vientos, you've had it's just nothing that's been very appealing. So, to me, the thought of Kyle Schwarber not only strengthening the Mets with an elite eye, prodigious power, and strengthening the Mets, but you're also simultaneously weakening the Phillies. I don't like Schwarber to the Mets. I love Schwarber to the Mets.
And that would mean no Pete Alonso, obviously.
Why, though? I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? We can't have Pete and Schwarber?
Why not?
They're going to get both those guys? No way. It would be in lieu
You
of
really
Pete
think
Alonso.
it's either or? Because I don't.
In that case, yes. It's not a finance thing. It's a fit thing. They're going to give Pete Alonso 5-6 years, knowing that he's eventually a DH and you want to play him at DH as well. Like, that makes you bad defensively. I know the power as well, but then the power could become redundant where you want to be more of a well-rounded team. To me, the only way... Here's the proven fact, right? When we talk about Alonso specifically... my argument is I want his power in the lineup. The Mets need the power of Pete Alonso. Where are you replacing that proven power if he walks? And the only answer is Kyle Schwarber. And then you could say not only are you replacing his power, arguably you're getting better power. It's not proven in New York, but in a lineup...
he's going to...
I don't think he's worried about New York.
Come on, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, 46, 47, 38, 56, over 100 ribbies.
Stud.
He's a machine. Also, strikeout. The average not going to be where Pete is, and no versatility. But are you trading a little versatility, which Pete has, and some of the average and more of a well-rounded hitter, I guess, than Schwarber for extreme... high-level A++ power in Schwarber. I guess that's the ultimate trade-off.
Yeah, but I'm also not convinced. I think we need to revisit this. I'm not convinced that it's either or. I'm not. Now, I don't know that the Mets would be inclined to do this, but let's say you get Schwarber. I'll just throw out very loose numbers just to keep the train moving. 4 years, 100-ish. All right, Schwarber, boom. Pete, 5 years, +1, I don't know, 150-ish, right? Well... Yeah, that's an interesting allocation of funds to two guys who are pretty heavy-footed. One guy doesn't play defense at all. The other guy, on his best day, is an average defender. I get it. Well, maybe the way you circumvent that is, well, now you are more okay with running, whether it's a Jet Williams or a rookie center fielder out there, doing some things. By the way, you're already exponentially better defensively at second base the moment you get to Port St. Lucie based on the trade they've already made. So maybe you kind of, it's a pivot. It's a surplus of power, but there's also a lower budget infusion of athleticism and defense.
Yeah, which is something that Stearns has made an emphasis on.
I know.
Which is how you build a team. So I have a hard time thinking that A, they'd go after Schwarber, and B, they'd go after Schwarber and bring back Pete. I really think it's one or the other because BT, even if you paint it, Soto's going to be a part of the outfield. The other two spots are up for grabs right now.
Yep.
One of them is going to belong to a younger player. You have to imagine, no matter what.
Men's, right? Or Williams. I would say Benj. Jeez, Benj.
Or Williams.
I got to get that right before I get out of here.
Benj or Williams, one of those two will be in either center or left, depending on what the other one is.
Yeah.
So would you rather, I think it's an interesting thought. Would you rather invest in Pete to be your first baseman? Okay, we know we'll live with some of the defensive deficiencies. Mm-hmm. You upgrade with Simeon on the right side, should help a little bit with the range. The arm, there's nothing you could do about that, but I guess you'll live with it with Pete. And you load up at DH with Schwarber, but you just have no flexibility. I'm all for. I certainly used to be of the belief, lock in the best offensive bat at DH and don't worry about it. Although the game has evolved to a point where you feel like you kind of need that to be a little bit open.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Listen, flexibility, versatility.
At least a little.
I know. And with those two guys, there's zero flexibility. Understood. And there's basically no versatility as well. See, the thing, though, is I think if this is a year from now and certainly 2 years from now, I don't think I would have much interest in this because I think at that point you would need to save the DH spot a little bit for Lindor just to get him off his feet in the middle of the diamond, once a week, 2, 3, 4 times a month, whatever it might be. I think that they can do this. I really do. It's just, hey, I know it's about run prevention. We know it's Stearns espouses. I get it. We watch the good teams play in October. Yeah. Got to catch the baseball. Got to have good starters. Got to have a pen. Got to hit in the clutch. Got to run the bags. We know baseball. But I also really do think just as a general, like almost flashback to these last couple of years for the Mets, it's pretty uninspiring watching these names. When you see that lineup pop up on SNY, DH, this guy's a scrub, this guy's done, this guy's unproven. You can't function like that.
Let me ask you, would you rather invest in Bellinger and Pete or Schwarber and Pete?
Bellinger and Pete. Well, if I'm going to have that as an option, it's Bellinger and Pete.
I guess you could say Bellinger and Schwarber, but now they're way loaded lefty. They need a right-handed bat, so you can't just have Bellinger and Schwarber and Soto in there.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't just let that be the determining factor, lefty-righty bats, but it is something when you look at that lineup construction. I would rather, and maybe even though you know me, I'm not emotional as it pertains to making decisions with bringing back players or not.
No.
But maybe I am just looking at it from an emotional standpoint of valuing Pete over Schwarber, because there have been times over the years where I've said Schwarber is a better offensive player. You'd rather have him. I think I'm just trying to build a better team and not letting emotion get involved in it. I love Schwarber's power. Of course, he's a big-time threat. And imagining him and Soto in the same lineup, the way that they, work at bats and all that stuff. Yeah, that's as nasty as it gets. But I still think Pete brings more overall to the table with his value. And maybe they're just hung up on that. Maybe they'd be better off clean slate, rip the Band-Aid off. No more Nemo, no more Pete. They do what I've been asking them to do for years, break up the core. It certainly would accomplish that. I just feel like you might be better off with a Bellinger-Pete combo than a Pete or Schwarber in lieu of Pete.
The good thing is they have options.
Yeah.
They do have options. Now, even though this is the story today, which is why we're starting the show with this, the main mission for the Mets, and we talked a lot about this yesterday, you could bring back Schwarber, Pete, and Bellinger. With that starting staff, you're going to win Ugats. So, like the Mets really, really need to bring in at least two. You were saying, and I agree, via pitchers, via trade, via free agency. I believe, you believe, we all believe the Mets will be very active there. I feel like right now at this point, this is just a guess, but I think it's a fairly intelligent one, I think. I feel like right now the Mets have more of a plan on what they want to do with the rotation than how they want to attack the everyday lineup.
Let me ask you it this way. If the rumors are swirling about the Mets being interested in Schwarber, and like, if you just use your noodle for a second, we talked about this, the only power bat to replace Pete Alonso is Schwarber. Maybe that says, similar to what the Mets did with Diaz and Williams, saying, okay, well, Diaz wants 5. We want to give him 3. He's going to hold out for 5. Let's go get Williams, at least lock him up. And if Diaz doesn't want our price, see you later. Maybe they have that same thought process with Pete, where they say, we're firm on 3 years. We want you back. We believe in your power. We want you back to be a Met, but we're not going beyond 3 years. And Pete, I mean, he looks at 3 years and says, I'm on 7, 3.
Yeah.
So then they're saying, well, we're not budging beyond 3. And if you don't like that, we're going to go get Kyle Schwarber to replace you. Maybe that's where this is coming from.
Okay, now that's interesting because last year Pete signed very late. I think a lot of people anticipate that Pete's going to sign very late this year. That's a dangerous game to play if you dangle the possibility, I'm talking about to Boris and to Pete, of us, being on the Mets right now, of us signing Schwarber. But you don't sign Schwarber. Like, it's one thing to threaten, and I'll put quotes around the word threaten, and certainly leverage, I think, the situation, better word, leverage the situation with Pete by saying, hey, we could very easily pivot to Schwarber, but you better sign him, because what you can't have happen is leverage Schwarber to Pete, Schwarber signs elsewhere, and then Pete's like, screw you.
But maybe they'd rather invest in Schwarber's power or overpay or whatever it would take to get him, saying, all right, well, here's our line on Pete. This is where we value you. Let's see where Schwarber's at. They know they can't come away without at least one of those two guys.
Yeah.
There are ways to do it. And a part of me respects the Mets' discipline here. Of course, the natural instinct of a fan is going to say, well, bring back Diaz, bring back Pete, because it's going to make you better because those two guys have produced, and they weren't the problem. But if you actually look at it from a business standpoint, well, the Mets sucked last year anyway, winning 83 games. So why would they need Diaz and or Pete Alonso, especially if it's going to be where they're not comfortable going? I respect the hard stance. This is what we believe you're worth. We want you back. If you are going to hold out for more and you think you can get it, see you later. We'll move on. Everybody is replaceable.
I agree with that. You know, and the other thing, too, we'll get to these phones in a second. 888-808-1019. Obviously, this is going to go on for a while, you would imagine. And we all talk about how much the Met fan, and not everybody, there are definitely, and I think it's a growing faction over the last year or so. 2 years ago, this would have seemed absolutely, bonkersville. And now I think there are a decent amount of Met fans who are like, maybe we could build a better team without Pete.
Yeah.
So we've attacked that angle. We've always tried to guess how much Pete wants to remain a Met. Like, we don't. I think we don't know that quite as much as how what we know about the fans.
Don't you think he wants the money?
Well, that's where I'm going. Like, hey, Pete. There's and intonation matters here. Hey, Pete, you want to be a Met? Or Pete, do you want to be a Met? Do you want to finish here?
I like
Big
it.
difference.
I like the difference. You want to be a
know
Met?
What I'm saying?
Or do you want to be a Met?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same words, but the inflection matters. Right. The passion that will, and I would like to hear Pete say, "Yeah, I want to be a Met. That's business." Or Pete look Cohen in the eye and say, "I want to be a Met. I want to be the best Met of all time." And there's a difference, but I don't know if Pete feels that way.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing with Diaz. I feel like Diaz wants to be back with the Mets more than, oh God, this is going to get taken.
More than what Pete?
More than Pete does. Yeah,
Why don't you say that again? Let me lay out. You get that.
I don't even want it out there on Disney. No, I just feel it. I believe Edwin Diaz wants to be back with the Mets more than Pete wants to be back with the Mets, meaning I don't think Diaz is just going to change. I could be wrong on this. I have no insight. I'm just based on what has happened in recent history where they came to the agreement early with Diaz. He talked about how much he loved it here, and they came to that agreement with Pete. Obviously, there's been some kind of disconnect. Even though he's come back, Pete thinks he's worth a lot more. Dude, here's the bottom line. If the Mets are willing to go to 3, it's not even close to where Pete wants. So already, not to mention last year, already if you're Pete Alonso and you're saying you want 7, and the Mets are countering with 3, already if you're him, you're like, I'm out of here.
And he might have that mindset. He might be pissed off to the point of no return. He might be.
He's going to get, and I'm not
I
blaming.
don't know if I blame him, by the way, either, honestly.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I'm not blaming Pete Alonso. All I'm saying is I don't think that there's this notion, the same way we talked about Soto last year. I think it was different, Soto versus Bellinger, as it pertains to the Yankees. I really believe, I don't know this, just using a hunch and some common sense, Bellinger would prefer to remain with the Yankees, where Soto wanted the most money. And it's not a knock on him, it's the reality. I believe at this point, while Pete would like to ideally be a Met, he wants the most money from the Mets. Hey, life isn't perfect. Sometimes you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
And maybe some other team is going to give him more money, and it's his right to go take that. I think that's where Pete is at versus I really want to be a Met so much that I'll take 3 years, whatever the offer may be.
I still think the Red Sox are going to come knocking. And let me just say one more thing. So you look at the finances here, and there's not a doubt. Nobody can possibly contest this statement. If the Mets absolutely, unequivocally wanted Pete, I'm not saying they don't want him, but absolutely wanted him back, no matter, like nothing to interpret, the contract would be there because Cohen's got as much money as anybody.
Right.
So you give them credit for how they're playing hardball with some of these stances. I'm going to take kind of a subset of that, and I give them a lot of credit for being of the mindset that they are prepared to radically shift the DNA of this team. And I think if they have to, I think that that's smart because I think on a lot of levels they need to. It's proven not to be good enough. Now, a fan favorite might be sacrificed at that expense, but that's the cost of business when you're trying to win a World Series.
Right, but that's where I'm at a crossroads. Being smart versus, well, why wouldn't you want Diaz? Of course, everybody in the league would want Diaz. It's not about wanting him, it's about how far you would go to get him. So the Yankees in their heyday would just go over the top to get the best player, end of story, nobody else would really compete. We're seeing now the Dodgers maybe do that in a lot of aspects. The Mets could do it, the Yankees could do it, but you've seen the Yankees act in a more disciplined manner, and we get on them calling them the Bronze Bombers, or some people say how needs to spend more money, but in reality, business-wise, building a team-wise, it makes sense. Same thing as it pertains to the Mets. Just because Cohen can do it, is it really smart to give Diaz 5 years, 100, or Pete Alonso 6 years, $200 million?
I don't think either is worth it.
Okay.
If I ran the Mets, I would not give 5 to Diaz or 6 to Pete. I would say no and no.
Okay, and now the counter to that is, but you have the money to do it, and clearly losing those two players does not make you better.
See, it's not about the money. It's about the lack of wiggle room and versatility to build my team out in a way that I think could be better.
So then you need to see what the next steps are. Okay, but so far, just use the bullpen. Forget the Alonso Schwarber. We'll get more into that in a second. But because they did already sign Devin Williams. And most people are under the assumption and hoping and saying they need to bring Diaz back in addition, which still could happen. But what if that was their pivot and they say, hey, we brought Williams in, who we think is going to be a great value, which I agree with could be a great value.
Me too.
Off a down year, was the best closer in the sport 2 years ago.
For multiple years.
3 years, $51 million is a nice value, and compared to where Diaz might get double of that. So if they let Diaz walk and then it's Devin Williams, then that's their plan to say build it out elsewhere. I'm not saying that that's the only move they're going to make, but they shored up the bullpen with their closer at that value, and now let Diaz walk, and then we get to see how they use that money elsewhere.
It's a very interesting offseason, man. I mean, it kind of seems fairly quiet for the Yankees. I feel like, I don't think it'll finish as quiet for the Yankees as it feels now, but I feel like this is going to be a nutty one for the Mets, and I've always felt that way.
I told you I'd go to 6 for Alonso, but I'm hearing that the Mets are only going 3.
Yeah, and if that's the case, the Mets are right. I would say 3's a bit light.
It's also they're not going to get him. We had this. Remember when I told you
they're not going to get him at 3.
Remember when I told you industry sources? We were talking about that.
Yeah,
the Mets
I remember that.
I don't know if I gave a year thing on it, but I said the Mets were not going to budge this time. Again, from a different industry source, I was just hearing that only 3 years for Pete. That's the most the Mets.
Well, unless that's interesting news there. I mean, unless he comes back left-handed, a little younger, and a little more fleet of foot, the impediments in the negotiations a year ago are still there.
Yeah.
So nothing changed in that regard.
Larry is in Westchester. What's up, Larry?
What up, Larry?
PT Sal, what's happening, my guys?
Hi, Larry.
Hey.
Listen, to comment on the Schwarber-Alonso thing, in a perfect Met world, they would sign both. That being said, I think Schwarber's going to go back with Philly, and I do think the Mets will go with Pete, but they're not going to. He won't take 3 years for him. It's going to cost them more. The other thing is to play hardball with him and Diaz. I agree with that. I mean, look, they're an 83-win team. You could tell them, look, we sucked with you, we can suck without you guys. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
We got to make a change here.
I hope he did, in fact, say that. I'd love to be at the table with Stern and say, look, Pete, we sucked with you, we could suck without you.
Exactly. And the other thing is, even if everything breaks right and they get Schwarber and Alonso, they still need a center fielder. Sal, on your SNY, they had a thing that they're interested in Buxton.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. They got all the chips to trade to the Twins.
Me too. Sorry, Larry, to cut you off there, and thank you for the call. We talked about that yesterday on Baseball Night in New York, and then again on Sports Night, where Buxton could be available. He's always banged up, but last year you saw what he could actually do, BT, when healthy.
Yep.
I would take a chance on him, and we talked about it with Joe Ryan as well, because I guess it floated out there the Mets were. And did we discuss this?
We did. Oh, yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah, came up.
The Twins might be interested in Tong. The Mets are interested in Ryan. He's not a top-of-the-rotation guy. Maybe he has the potential to be a 2 or something. I look at him more as a 3, but maybe the Mets could get a package deal with Buxton and Ryan. Now you shore up one spot in the rotation and center field, and then obviously you have to go via free agency with either Schwarber or Alonso.
I like Buxton. He's got tantalizing talents, and I'm not saying no to it. I'm not. I'm open to it because, man, he is good. But I only like taking a flyer on somebody's health when I know everything else is buttoned up. And right now, there's too many other issues with the Mets. Like, I can't have the Mets' one of their primary offseason moves being bringing in Buxton, unless you're bringing in, like, a Tucker and a Schwarber, or a Bellinger and a Tucker. A Bellinger and a Schwarber, or a Pete and a Bellinger. Because if it's the guy who's always banged up, you look up in July, you might have a worse roster than you had this year.
More of your calls when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
The Nets are playing the Pelicans. 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Is up, and it's in, and the Nets have the lead.
The home of the Brooklyn Nets is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey apps.
FanDuel is the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live. All in one easy-to-use app, and right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Evan to sign up today. FanDuel.com/Evan. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly. Experience the magic of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Enjoy exclusive holiday offers at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, we're celebrating this holiday season with our $155,000 Slay the Road drawing, including your chance to win a new Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash. Earn entries all month long, then be here on January 1st between 12 and 3 p.m. when one winner will be drawn every hour to win up to $20,000 cash. At 4 p.m., one lucky winner will win a Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Football Fridays on The Fan are sponsored by Oxford Health Plans from United Healthcare. Time to pick a health plan for your business? Visit uhc.com/Oxford today.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT Tal back on The Fan, 888-808-1019. So let's just continue the conversation on Buxton for a second. A, who would be the better option in center field in your mind? Maybe that's what leads them to go get a corner outfielder instead. Look at the market for center fielders.
What about Bellinger?
Okay, yeah, but now you're talking about, do you really think he's leaving the Yankees?
No.
I don't.
No.
And how much you're going to have to pay him to leave the Yankees?
Yeah, and he's also a good center fielder, not a great center fielder, to be fair.
I don't look at Bellinger as a realistic option for the Mets.
For center field or in general.
Well, in general.
Definitely not for center field.
I would say if you're going to sign him, it's got to be primarily for center field. I know
not left field?
Who's going to play center?
Jet Williams,
okay, whatever. Fair enough. I don't look at him as a viable option because I think he's being retained by the Yankees.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I just don't see Bellinger leaving the Yankees. So let's leave him out of this for a second. Who are the other options in center field? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Like there are. It was Robert Jr. last year.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I mean, I didn't even love it in real time. Yeah. Remember that we talked about it? The money, $20 million.
I'd rather him honestly than some of the other. That shows you Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader. All right, if you said Harrison Bader a year ago, you would have heard an audible groan, like, dude, come on, stop, don't waste my time. Harrison Bader evolved as a player this year. I mean, geeking out, like hard hit rate, more walks. I'm going to end it there. But more walks, fewer Ks, low clutch values, barrel stuff. Like you saw him against the Mets, but he came back with the Phillies. Basically got to hit every at bat. And he played well even when it wasn't against the Mets.
That's the guy you want to be the center fielder? You're the Mets. BT, you're running the Mets. You're not. Now, Buxton, the knock is, he played 126 games a year ago. That was his best season.
Pop the champagne, yeah. Like, that's this massive...
he played 102 games the year before that. And prior to that, he 2017, he played 140 games. So you had from 2017 on.
He's like Jacoby Ellsbury.
He never plays.
That's why, if you guys are just tuning in, everybody loves Buxton. Incredible talent, right? But I don't think the Mets are good enough to take a chance on that. Now, if you want to tell me like the Dodgers, hell, even if you want to tell me like Toronto, or maybe to a lesser extent, depending upon what happens with Bellinger, you want to tell me the Yankees make a move for him. At least the Yankees have enough sticks, right, in terms of power, more than the Mets. I am more concerned with filling this DH void. I mean, whether it's Vogelback or Ruff or Marte or Vientos or J.D. Martinez. I mean, a couple of those guys are good, solid pros, especially somebody like J.D. Martinez. And I've got respect for Marte as well. But that's just not going to cut it. So, for me, it would be Schwarber. I'd go all out for him. I love him that much.
He'd be your number one guy.
Yeah, because
from the Mets' perspective.
Yeah, because I don't think the Mets are going 7 years, and I wouldn't. I don't think the Mets are going 6, and I wouldn't. So I do think there's a really, really good chance that Pete's gone. I believe that. I've said that for a while.
Okay, give me the next move. Schwarber, and then what?
I'm going hard after Bellinger, and I'm going to. I know we've had this, like, you don't think he's going to leave, and I don't either. But I'm going to. If I'm the Mets,
everybody's got a price. I mean,
that's true. That's true. $1 million man. Yeah, no doubt. Ted DiBiase. Yeah, Virgil had a price too. Didn't Virgil turn on him?
Hey, next week you want to have Brother Love on? We might be able to do that in studio.
Why not? It doesn't matter at this point. We'll put on whoever we want. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but book them. There you go. I didn't know. I would say that Now it's an aggressive play, and you're not necessarily doing it to spite the Yankees. That's not my intent at all. But I would at some point, I would go for Schwarber, I would secure him, and then I would put something that's so tantalizing in front of Bellinger that the Yankees wouldn't match it. And not to screw the Yankees, but to get a player that with his versatility and talents would make the Mets so much better.
It's an excellent point. I have to, again, this is the dance that we did last year with Soto. There's two perspectives, the Yankee perspective and the Met perspective. And it's the same thing for Bellinger. From a Yankee perspective, I want him back, and I believe he's going to be back. From a Met perspective, he's a free agent, and there's no guarantees that he's staying back, so go get him. And the reason why you choose him over, let's say, a Robert or a Buxton, and I do like the potential of both those guys better than committing big dollars to Bellinger, but Bellinger's durability and flexibility are extremely appealing where you're built like the Mets, meaning that they could have a need at first, they could have a need in center, they could have a need in left. He could do all of those different things, even if you put him in right and have Soto DH, whatever for a game. He could do all of that while you're developing one of the young kids in one of the other outfield spots, while maybe you have, I mean, I guess in that scenario, let's say that the Mets, in your scenario.
Do they really like Bench? I mean, do they really love him?
Love.
Are we talking like Jason Dominguez kind of love before last year?
Love Bench.
Do they love more than Jet Williams? I think they do. It seems like they do.
I believe so. But
so Bench is their guy that they think could win the job.
Yeah, Bench is.
Okay.
Bench is going to be. They believe he's going to be the guy to get the best opportunity. I mean, Stern's already said it, that he's going to get an opportunity.
No, he did say it at the press conference. I know.
I think they're high on him.
I mean, look, I look at this and strip away the name and strip away the previous relationship and might continue relationship with the Yankees and forget about the Yankee-Met dynamic, but just think about the Met needs and now take away the name Bellinger and just think about the description. Lefty hitter, good speed, high contact rate, little clutch, already played in L.A., Chicago, New York, check, did well everywhere, can play everywhere, can basically be a Gold Glover everywhere. Going to give you competitive, quality at bats. One thing about Bellinger you don't really see, which is great. You very rarely see strike one, strike two, strike three, or even strike one, strike two. Let me show you ball just to try to get you to expand the zone. Oh, you didn't? Strike four, like strike three after the fourth pitch. Bellinger gives you quality at bats, and Soto does that. I don't think Lindor does it as much as some do.
Schwarber would do it.
Yes. I don't even think Pete necessarily does it because when Pete's going bad, Pete's a very easy out.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Marcus is in Cleveland, Ohio. What's up, Marcus?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey.
The Mets' biggest trouble still is some starting pitching, right? And that being said, I like to have Schwarber and Soto in the lineup. To me, you can't have enough left-handed power hitters in your lineup. And I don't know what they want to do with Pete. It's too bad you couldn't get him and Schwarber for 3 years each. And the other issue with Bellinger is that you guys didn't mention, he hits left-handed pitching. Better than a lot of left-handed hitters.
I still would worry about stacking those. They probably wouldn't do that, but having Soto, Schwarber, Bellinger, you can't have them all on a line, although arguably your three best hitters.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know what Pete really wants to do. And if the Red Sox throw a bunch of money at him, like you said, I think he's going to leave. And then you're going to have to probably sign Schwarber. But the Mets' biggest issue still is the starting pitching. So if you could get Diaz and Williams together, and then you got an 8th, 9th setup, and you get a starting pitching, then they got a chance to be really good. But if you lose Pete, don't you almost have to sign Schwarber?
Yes. There's no. Thank you for the call, Marcus. That, to me, is the crux of this thing. If they're going to let Pete go, you have to then sign Kyle Schwarber. And a part of me thinks that they would be better off, and I'd be more excited about a new, fresh face in there with that power bat. Where, you're losing Pete's power bat, sure, but Schwarber's a better power bat, not a better overall hitter or player, but a better power bat.
I also think he's a more polished at bat, though.
I was going to say, what's the OPS on both these guys? Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He is more disciplined.
When you say pure power, I'm also going to incorporate the ability to, have a longer at bat and walk. So
plate discipline.
No question. What we asked me, OPS.
But he also strikes out a million times.
He does. I get it. He does.
I'm just going to pull up Schwarber's OPS here.
Last year was got to be 9 something. Last year,
I mean,
jeez, come on.
He's an animal, as you know. 928.
Come on.
851 before that. What was Pete? Can you pull up?
Yeah, I know Pete's never been 950. I mean, Pete's been even with all those really good years.
Remember last year to start, it was like he was on the Judge level for the first 2
last
weeks
year
of the
to
season.
start.
Yeah.
Correct, he was. Now Pete's had a lot of 8. I'm looking it up. Come on, hurry up, computer. 820s, 840s. All right, here we go. Last year, Pete was 8. I'm going to go in descending order. 25, and I'll give you the last couple of years going backwards. 871.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's really good. 788. 821. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a bad year for Schwarber.
Yeah, no kidding. It's good. 870. Good. 863. Good. And then you kind of getting into that, early stages.
And how many strikeouts, real quick?
Runs. Yep. Well, strikeouts would be. I mean, here's the thing, too. So I'll give you the last 3 years. 151, 172, 162.
Yeah, Schwarber's at 2.
Is it really that much of a difference? 40 extra strikeouts over the course of 160-something games?
Well, no, it's a big difference in the postseason. That's what I worry. Schwarber strikes out 200 times a year. He leads the league in strikeouts. Yeah,
but you got to get to the postseason to have the strikeouts worry.
Well, he'll get him there. He'll get him there, and then he'll fail in the postseason. That's what I'm worried about. That's my hesitation. One, familiarity. I think changing it up at this point would be a good thing when they continue to struggle. Not making the postseason consistently. So I'd be open to moving on from Pete for that reason. But I look at the postseason, and I know what you're saying. Schwarber should be a more disciplined at bat, but dude, all those strikeouts, and the Phillies haven't had postseason success.
Yeah.
Especially the last 2 years. Obviously going to the World Series before that, but the last 2 years.
Well, can we just at least incorporate one little teeny tiny fact here? Schwarber's OPS in the postseason career is over 900.
I know. It's not like you can't hit in the postseason. I'm just saying those strikeouts would worry me a little bit.
I hate strikeouts. That's what kills the Yankees all these years. Yeah, I understood. Well, that's why you got to build this out, and that's why Lindor's got to make contact, and that's why Simeon's going to make contact. He's a low strikeout guy. I mean, listen, Met fans are going to hate this, but I feel this. I've just all the years watching both of these players, there's a different energy with Schwarber. Schwarber to me is like an unhinged caveman running around who's jacked.
Great clubhouse guy as well.
I know. Jacked, just linebacker. That's it, linebacker. Pete's country strong / goofy.
More offensive lineman?
Yeah. You bring the jumbo package. Yeah, you want to stick with the football?
It is a football
Slow
Friday,
tight end, maybe. A little Kyle Brady if you want to go that route with the Jets.
Speaking of which, WFAN NFL football powered by Verizon. Get your local Verizon store today. All right, more of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
I got a little something for you here, Saudi boy. Let's get it up for you. Here you go. All right, hey, Who's Hot in Football brought to you by Petro Home Services. Bryce Young still stunned that he won that game last week. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. They beat the Red Hot Rams. His team did the Panthers. They were a big surprise this year. Want to save on heating costs? Well, go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. Go to petro.com now and get $125 free heating oil or give a buzz. 888-PETRO02 today. Use propane. Ask about our special offers. Propane not available in all areas. Odyssey Sports Minute. We'll get it to you now. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Make the right choice. Don't drive impaired.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get the zone, AutoZone. For the first time in NFL history, 5 division races are within 1 game this late in the season. Playoff implication-laden matchups include Cincinnati at Buffalo and Chicago at Green Bay. Pittsburgh is one of my 3 upset specials over Baltimore. I also like home dog Jacksonville over Indianapolis, and I'm going to be riding this Houston Texans train over Kansas City. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
MSC Cruises Black Friday sale is here with the best deal of the year. Cruise from $199. Plus, get up to $1,000 onboard credit and kids sail free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort, from global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
Great deals are waiting for you at your local Kia dealer during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So, gift yourself some savings and drive home a capable Kia SUV or powerful Kia sedan today.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
Alcaraz, Anisimova, Pegula, and Tiafoe. The inaugural A Racket at the Rock takes center court at Prudential Center Sunday, December 7th. Featured are some of the game's biggest stars. Amanda Anisimova takes on Jessica Pegula, and Frances Tiafoe battles six-time Grand Slam champion Carlos Alcaraz. A Racket at the Rock, Sunday, December 7th. Get more info and buy tickets at cruisecenter.com/tennis.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Town back on The Fan. We're talking free agency and the latest from Buster Olney saying that the Mets are in on Kyle Schwarber. I could read the exact thing in a second here as I pull it up. But that's the main takeaway from today is that Olney said the juiciest rumor that he's heard this week was the notion that the Mets could push the Phillies for Schwarber. So that's what we started with. And I would imagine that if it's Schwarber, that means it's no Alonso. The other thing that we were talking about is the Mets will not budge. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I forget when it was exactly by the industry source. Again, I was texting with somebody today telling me the Mets will not budge. 3 years for Pete. Stearns will not budge and has the backing of Cohen.
Then he's 100% gone because I believe somebody's going to come with more than 3. Not a lot more.
You would think at least 4.
Then he's going to be a Red Sox. Or I don't really have a clear second team identified, but I've been saying Boston for a while.
I respect the discipline and hard stance, but then you're going to need to make sure you build a team properly. Here's the thing. Winning 83 games, you're going to get ripped, no matter who's on the team. You're going to get ripped if you let Nimmo go, Diaz go, and Alonso go. If you win, nobody's going to care.
Correct. You're brilliant.
If you don't, you're a dead man.
And you're probably going to get fired at some
That's
point
what I'm
because
saying.
the noise around you, the vitriol, it's one thing to criticize somebody, but when you do, and I think the Mets are in the early stages of really doing smart, hard decisions.
Right.
Nimmo,
Yeah,
smart.
right.
Okay. If Pete's gone and you do some other stuff, I can deem that as smart. But it better work because it's one thing to get rid of players that fans don't have connections to and lose. But when you get rid of guys that fans love and you lose, you may as well pack up shop because you're not going to be around long.
But I'd rather
if you don't win.
I'd rather Stearns do it his way than have
That's
Cohen.
why you hired him.
Correct. Than have Cohen jumping in saying, "Oh, you know what? I'll let you make the baseball moves, but this time just give Pete the extra year."
Yep.
Or you know what? Just give Edwin the extra. No, that's how you get in trouble. Don't be giving these guys the extra years. The owner should be there for the resources. Hey, you really want this guy? Okay, here's the money. Don't tell the GM what to do, or the president in this case with Stearns. Let him tell you what he needs to do, and then give him the resources to do it. That to me is the best model.
I'm with you.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Brian is calling from Babylon. What's up, Brian?
How you doing, boys?
Good. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
But real quick, I just want to say good luck in your future, man. I enjoyed listening to you guys from 10 to 2. So
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thanks, bud.
With Alonso, I just don't understand. He wants 6. Give him 6. But you know what? Front load the first 3 years. Give him a player opt out after that. Give him incentive. Have it be an incentive for him to play well. And after the 3rd year, he can opt out and make money elsewhere. But to me, you have that three-year window of really.
But Brian, one thing here, it's an interesting thought, Brian. It is. But to me, and now I'm going to defend Pete here. Pete should not have to acquiesce to that kind of a contract. Like, he's not great, and there are flaws. But what he's good at, he's pretty amazing at. So because of that, I think somebody will come with a contract that Pete could say, if the Mets give him the contract that you just said that they should give him, I think he'll say, peace, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just look at, like, you could make it like 40. So what, you're going to give him 35, say, a year average, or 30 to 35 a year. Why not give him the 40 up front to make it to where it's very appealing? Because for a guy his age, hitting that 35, being at 35 or whatever he's going to be after those 3 years, it's really, I don't see why Boris would have an issue with that, or even Pete.
Well, the question becomes, and thank you for the call, Brian, and for the kind words. We appreciate it. The question becomes, they're probably going to get similar. I just Googled the AI overview here. How many years will Schwarber get? And they're saying
4 years, right?
Projected to get 4 to 5 years.
100.
Between 135 and 160.
160?
Now, I think that's probably a little heavy. AI, what does AI know? I'm just saying I wanted to get a quick ballpark, because I'm looking up his age. He's going to be 33, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to get a quick ballpark, because initially you could say, well, if the Mets are not willing to budge 3 years on Alonso, then they're probably saying we're going 3 years on Schwarber, and however many dollars it's going to take to get that done. But they're not going to. I can't imagine they're going to give Schwarber 4 years and not Pete. No?
Schwarber 4 and not Pete. Well, I mean, if what you've been told, that they're not going to budge off the 3, then the only other part of that equation that we'd have to get the answer on is, will they offer Schwarber more than 3?
Well,
and I think that they might. I don't think they'd go to 5. I think the Mets might offer him 4. But I think they should.
But not Pete. So if years and dollars...
I wouldn't go nuts if the Mets offered Pete 4. Like the 7, pipe dream, never happening anywhere.
Right.
6, no way would I do it. If 5 was an option, all right, now I'm getting to the territory. I still don't love it. If it's 4 flat, and the AAV matches up and Pete's happy, I'm not going to go nuts over that.
So 4 for like 125, 130.
Yeah, what do you get? Let's go 40 at 30. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 30.
I could do the math. I have the calculator.
Well, I mean, 30 times 4 is $120.
Yeah.
Listen, he's not going to get into the territory. I mean, last year, Aaron Judge made $40 million a year. And I know that it's like when your contract is up. I understand that.
But still,
come on. We're going to put him in the Aaron Judge territory. Soto's making 51. You're going to have Pete making 40-ish? No, I don't think that's congruent with their talent base.
No.
With the talent.
He can't be getting much more than 30 a year. But my point is...
The last caller said maybe you jack it up to 40. That's what I'm saying. No way.
Pete's 2 years younger. God, Pete is going to have a hissy fit if Schwarber gets more money from the Mets and more years than he did. Understandably so. I would be upset too if I'm him.
Me too.
He's produced here.
Yeah.
He's going to be 31. You're telling me you're not going to budge beyond 3 years? Okay, but then what do you think Schwarber's going to get? So in this case, Schwarber's going to get more than 3, no?
I think he's going to get 4, and maybe a 5th year somewhere, but I don't think the Mets would go for 5.
So if you're going to pay Schwarber 4 years.
I know. If I'm Pete, that's wrong. You're doing me dirty at that point.
And would that be smart by the Mets to give more money for Schwarber, in your opinion, BT?
Yes, depending upon the other things. I hate to give you kind of a non-answer, but if it's just Schwarber, Pete gone, Schwarber in, and, Benj in center, and, like not a Bellinger, not a Tucker, I can't do that. Like, it's got to be more.
Maybe it is both.
Be.
Give Pete 3 years, give Schwarber 3 years, call it a day. And away we go. Well, Joe is calling from Long Island. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Joe.
I have a few, but I just wanted to say first, listening to you guys 10 to 2 has been awesome. So I wish you luck moving forward, and I'll always stay listening to you guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Joe.
Of course. So, Sal, you just said it. To me, the move here is Schwarber and Pete. You don't want to get reckless, like you said with Pete. You don't want to go 6 years, 5 years to get into that territory. But, if Pete's going to give the Mets the final word on this contract, like let's say Boston's like 4 for 130 and the Mets don't want to go above 3. If he comes back to the Mets and says, hey, listen, I have this offer, I can't see the Mets not doing that. I think if you pair Alonso with Schwarber, and as you mentioned before, Schwarber is an incredible clubhouse guy, which this team seems to need.
Yeah.
I think that's the move right there.
He might have the sack to be able to get in between Soto and Lindor and get those two together. You know what I mean? Schwarber doesn't care. He's that type of guy.
Love him.
And he's done that in 2 separate places prior to this, if you go look at that. And if you do that, I'm okay with signing a guy like Harrison Bader for 1 year to hold the line. He's a gamer, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's a big Buxton guy, but a guy like Bader, a guy like Robert on these 1 year deals that got something to prove, like I think that's the area that these Mets should go. Obviously, they need pitching. They're going to do that. But listen, I think Stearns is going to do a lot of things, and he's aggressive. He's setting the market kind of a little bit right now, which I like with Williams. And if you go out and you sign Schwarber before Pete, you can go back to Pete and be like, hey, man, you want to be here? We're not. Like, we're going to go without you. And I think that's a good tactic if that's what he's doing. So,
interesting.
Wish you best of luck.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, man. So I'm looking at the Savant, and there's a ton of red here for Schwarber, but I just wanted to check a couple things. But as I was looking at the numbers here, I'm trying to envision where I would have Schwarber hit if he's with the Mets, and I'm trying to envision a spot where I can put him where I can kind of mitigate these strikeouts, right? And to me, it's in the number 2 hole with Juan Soto behind you. If you go Lindor 1, Schwarber 2, and Soto 3, and I know, all right, maybe not ideal, back-to-back, lefty-lefty, but of course, Lindor switch hitter, that helps out. Mm-hmm. And then maybe in the 4 spot, ideal to have a righty, which we can get to another point. But if you're in the 2 hole and you're Schwarber, they have to feed you. They're not.
With Soto behind you?
Yeah, so I think that the strikeouts would kind of cut down anyway.
God, thinking about that tandem gets me excited.
It should.
Little sports semi popping up here.
Hey, listen, man.
Think about that. Dude.
It should.
Schwarber and then Soto.
Dude, he's in the 99
Pete,
percentile in walk rate. He walks, as we know, at a ridiculous rate. Now, the strikeouts, it's egregious. It's a joke. It's untenable. But I do think that with Soto behind him, he didn't have Juan Soto behind him in Philly. Like, that Philly lineup's getting a little bit old. Bryce is hurt. Not Correa. Turner hurt. Yeah. They're not quite the team. Bond probably going to get traded at third base. Yeah, I mean, I think if you put somebody like Soto in his absolute prime at age 26, I think he's going to be 27-1, and you got Kyle in the 2 spot, I don't think he strikes out 200 times.
So Lindor, you would go Lindor,
Schwarber, Soto. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably have, right, could you hit Lindor 3? You're probably not going to do that, would you? If you go Schwarber right out of the gate, Schwarber, Soto 2?
I don't know if I love having lefty-lefty because now, even though...
Well, it's going to be lefty-lefty either way.
I know, but yes, but by the time it comes around, like say if it's a late inning, late leverage spot and the Mets have 9-1-2 coming up, you could bring in a lefty and have them face the 3 batters, I prefer the switch hitter at the top. I think it's going to be a bit of a deterrent for managers to kind of stack stuff. I mean, I could be wrong with that, but it's a smallish thing. But I would put Schwarber too.
Cecil calling from Franklin Square. What's up, Cecil?
Hey guys, you guys have been touching on this Alonso Schwarber option for the Mets, and before I get to that, first off, love listening to you guys. Thank you, and just good luck in the future, whatever happens. And just a quick thing: why can't we just make both of them, or like 2 guys that caliber, just in terms of short-term deal, a boatload of money, and they're still capable to say, hey, we can get another contract. If the Mets really want to say, hey, 3 years for Pete or 4 years for Pete. Here's 120, 150. Make them the highest paid first baseman. Get Schwarber in as the highest paid DH. Short-term deals, the Mets are protected, and they have another opportunity.
Well, again, well, Cecil, and thank you for the call there, buddy. I think the only hole that I would poke in what you're presenting is that you fail to account for how the players would respond to that. Yeah, of course it sounds great. Yeah, short-term deal for Pete, make him the highest paid first baseman. Okay, great. For a couple years. Yeah, Schwarber, bring him in 3 years, short-term deal, make him the highest paid DH. There's the other side of the coin. Why would they sign for 3 years? They're not going to.
Right, yeah. Ideally, it sounds great. Just give them 3-year deals. And
for the Mets, it sounds good.
Correct. Each individual player is going to want to maximize what they could get this free agency offseason here. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll continue the conversation. When we come back, we'll work some football in today. We got to power up later on. We didn't do that yesterday. We'll power up, have some perfect parlay pick segment as well. See if BT can keep his heater going. Plenty to get to. 888-808-1019.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 1019 FM.
I don't know who the consensus number one overall pick is. I know the Jets are going to have to pick a quarterback. Maybe they still get their guy like the Giants did with Jackson Dart later in the first round.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
When fighting lymphoma, leukemia, or myeloma, the right care team makes a difference. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, Chief of Stem Cell Transplantation and Cellular Therapy at Hackensack University Medical Center's John Thurg Cancer Center. As the state's largest and most experienced CAR T-cell program, we pioneer life-saving options that empower your immune system to fight cancer. For personalized care in Hackensack or Neptune, call 833-CANCER-MD.
FanDuel Friday is turning it up with NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo, it's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Gio to grab your reward before the clock expires. That's FanDuel.com/GIO. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid fast. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. The Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. And sponsored by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Pretty light sports Friday to this point with the Giants on their bye week and the Jets prepping for Sunday's home game with the Dolphins. The Utah Jazz off a win over the Nets last night in Brooklyn. Turn around and visit the Knicks this evening. Knicks are 11-1 at MSG so far this season and look to continue their home dominance against Utah. Meantime, the Devils will be home for the Vegas Golden Knights, looking to bounce back from a shutout loss to Dallas earlier in the week. Rangers and Islanders are idle off of Thursday night victories. Blue Shirts have won 5 of 6 overall. They return home for a back-to-back against Colorado and Vegas coming up this weekend. Fan weather sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. 27 degrees, sunny skies right now in Central Park. And with Sports Flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. So last night, obviously, we had the Lions and Cowboys, and the Cowboys back down to earth now. So for Dallas, you would think that that's the nail in the coffin. We talked about this.
I'm saying,
you think it's over? Okay.
I do.
Lions finally looked like themselves. I have, obviously with other stuff going on. If I were into it, I would have bet the Lions there, thinking what I expected to happen the weeks prior didn't happen, and then last night would have been that chance to say Detroit's going to look like Detroit at some point, and they certainly did last night with a huge win over Dallas.
Yeah, I was into the game for most of it, and then I started bouncing around a little bit. I sent you a text. I know you're into the Letterman interview thing on Netflix with
the
Sandler.
Sandman.
Did you see it yet?
I did not. You watched the whole thing?
It's really good. You are gonna love it as a Letterman, nutball. And maybe Sandler's #1 fan. I think it was really, really good.
Did I tell you one of the coolest things I've ever done? I used to live basically on top of the Letterman studio.
I knew that. Okay,
and
I did know that.
I went to his final show ever.
I knew that too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, who was his guest though? Do you remember? Final show.
He didn't have a specific guest. He had 10 people do the top 10 list.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny you asked that because I was outside waiting online, and somebody from 1010 Wins was out there, and they come up to me like, "Hey,
John Montone."
Yeah, whoever it was. Who are you excited to see? Which guest are you excited to see? Or who do you hope? And I'm like, I don't care about the guest. I'm here for Dave. I love Dave. I mean, I like Jerry Seinfeld too, but I can watch him other plays. I'm here to see Dave Letterman's final show. Anyway, so I can't wait to get into that. What I did start to watch, and I didn't get through the whole thing, the Diddy.
Oh, told you. So the first episode, or
I saw
you're beyond that?
half of the first episode.
It's good, isn't it?
It's
good.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. The way he was raised with his mom and the parties, and his dad kind of want to be, maybe not even want to be, maybe a true uptown gangster back in the day.
Even the
parties, crazy stuff.
The footage though.
Yes,
that was shot 6 days before he got nabbed.
I know.
What is he doing with a film crew? And then you see him talking to his lawyers.
That's how it starts. He's in a hotel room talking to his lawyer.
Yeah, we're losing.
Yes. I don't know, man. I wouldn't have cameras on me at that point. It probably speaks. Well, whatever. That's his thing. I was going to say it's.
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter. But it is. It really is good. And how about some of the footage when he was at Mount St. Michael's High School that I told you about? I mean, think about the way the party started and how he was in a couple of videos early on as a dancer. I mean, the hustle was undeniable.
How about Kim Porter? that was his first wife.
Yes,
she was receptionist.
Yes.
She was with somebody else. And he was walking in there hitting on.
He wouldn't give up on her. He kept, he kept going back to it.
I'm fascinated. I will dive into that this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now tomorrow I got Santa Land. That's
tomorrow. You doing Macy's?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless this man.
I'm already trying to tell Sammy, like, hey, we're going to see Santa tomorrow, but it's an hour and a half wait. Just so you know, be prepared. There's a long wait going, at least an hour and a half.
I was going to say, you hope it's an hour, because I told you mine. Mine was 4.5 hours. They've streamlined the process. Mine was about 5-6 years ago. So Sammy's 4. No, I think my son was a little bit younger, and Kins was probably 2. Dude, almost 5 hours. But I know they do it differently. But you can tell her and brace her however you want. Yeah. She's a 4-year-old girl, a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So she's going to have some rough moments.
I'm less worried about her. I'm more worried about mommy.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I know you don't
How
drink
am I going to corral my wife for 2 hours on that line?
I know you don't drink this way, and neither do I. But if there's ever a day to bring a flask, that's the day.
Yeah, I got already a pack of Surfsides in the bag, so that's coming with me. Yeah, wherever I go, Surfside comes with me, VT. You know that. Linda is calling from Forest Hills. What's up, Linda?
Hello.
Good morning, men. Just wanted to say best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Brandon, I found myself agreeing with a lot of your Met takes over these years. So, best of luck to you.
Even the bad ones, like Lindor giving up switch hitting?
Oh, you're the one, Linda.
Guys, okay. David Stearns. If he couldn't find the drive to get aggressive after signing Juan Soto this past offseason, am I supposed to suddenly believe that he's going to be aggressive this time around?
Okay, but hold on.
Okay.
Now, hold on. Good question. What or who did you want him to sign last year that he did not? Let's be specific.
Definitely, I wasn't expecting Griffin Canning, and I wasn't expecting Frankie Montas.
Okay, so you wanted more pitchers. Got it. That's fair. I thought you meant position players. I got you on that. Yep.
Now here's the thing with the position players. If Pete bolts, which it's looking like he might, not that I'm averse to it, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Schwarber, if he's not going back to Philly, I think he's going back to Cincinnati. Bellinger, I think he's going back to the Yankees. Kyle Tucker, he's a great player, 30-30 guy. I don't see David Stearns giving him 10 years.
Me neither.
So,
Me neither.
that being the case, with all the and as far as McClain goes, I don't see him as I want him in a competitive Mets team to be the number 3 starter. So along with the pitching issues that the Mets have, tell me as a Mets fan, what exactly do I have to look forward to if this Pobo is not exactly willing to budge on what he thinks are fair deals for these types of players?
Well, you got to let it play out. I mean, it's a fair point. I got you. That pointed analysis or concerns, those concerns, you got to say that for Valentine's Day, if nothing's really done of significance at that. There will be stuff done. But I think for me, and I think good stuff, I think the Mets are going to have a better offseason than the Yankees, unfortunately for me and for Yankee fans. I really do.
When you say better, you just mean
more active, better players brought in. Both. I do. I've said that for a while. Yeah.
Sad state of affairs. I mean, because both need to be making big moves here.
The difference is the Yankees really don't need to do maybe one extra arm to get them through April and early May with all the injuries. But, I mean, they got to figure out some things on the position side. But we're talking about the Mets now. The only thing that can't happen last year, and we focus so much on Pete and the other guys and Lindor, you got to get paid, he's center fielder. The New York Mets cannot allow, even McClain, who's unbelievable, Tong, Sproat, the pressure must be removed from them next year. There is no way you can start a season where you are putting these young... McClain's a little different, I admit that. But you can't just thrust them into this pressure cooker with no veteran studs to protect them. And that's not going to happen.
But even... Yeah, exactly.
I know it's not, but I'm just saying.
Even McClain, he can't go into next year being your number 1.
I agree.
The other guys won't be in the rotation. Probably some will be traded, whatever.
I think one of them might be? I think Sproat might be.
I mean, Tong should be nowhere near the rotation at this point. He's got a lot of development to do.
He does.
I would bet at least one of them gets traded, and the other one probably starts in the minors, and McClain should start the season as a number 3.
Yep.
But it's going to take a trade.
You're going to sign Valdez. Book it. You're going to sign Valdez. I know you don't love
Valdez,
him.
You think the one?
I think you're going to sign Valdez, and I think you're going to make a trade, whether it's Joe Ryan or
Peralta
from the Brewers, things we've talked about. I'm almost positive you guys are going to sign Valdez.
I agree they're getting to. I don't understand the lack of confidence from Linda, though. That to me seems like pessimism. Again, I know the Mets did not win a year ago. David Stearns has a proven track record.
Yeah, but not here.
No, but we talked about this. He inherited a team that was put together, essentially.
Yeah.
It's hard to completely fix a team that was already put together that you inherited.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get this from scratch and be able to paint the canvas with it. Not to mention in his first year, which was an evaluation season, they had success. So he had no choice but to basically run it back. Really, this should have happened a year ago because the anomaly or the aberration was the fact that the Mets went on to the NLCS. The reality was they weren't very good in the majority of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know how it started. Obviously, we know how it ended. But in reality, they barely made the postseason. Then they went on that run, which led them to have more of a leash to say, okay, let's run it back with this core and see what they can do. Yeah. They failed. Now he's taken a torch to it, as he should, and building it his way. But it's also not easy to do when you have some of these big contracts.
Well, think about this, and I'm gonna put a few of the New York teams on the board here and flip around and juxtapose a couple things. I'm gonna put the New York Giants, I'm gonna put the Knicks, and I'm gonna keep the Metsies on there. So, couple of different situations. The Giants, talking about the Shane Dable regime, they didn't anticipate winning 9 times their first year, winning a road playoff game. I think, I'm not saying they didn't want to win, but that was, I think, if you asked them and they were honest, I think that they were surprised by their success. And the surprise and the success more directly kind of pigeonholed them into doing some things they probably didn't want to do. Agree? Fair statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Giants, check. Now, so that was one, and look where it is now.
Yeah.
It's gotten progressively worse and worse and worse. So that's not good. The Knicks, I'm talking about when Leon Rose first took over. The Knicks were not good. He hired a coach to make them competitive, and he just collected assets. That was one approach. And there was no marquee player, like top 10 player, and no contracts that were so burdensome you could kind of do whatever you want.
It was a clean slate,
Clean slate. Different way to do it. Check. That was what the Knicks went through. The Mets with Stearns, the first year was really good. So kind of like the Giants, more so than the Knicks. So when you're trying to, I don't want to say that you're just beholden to the previous year because you won unexpectedly, but there's got to be an element to an extent of carryover. You don't just blow it up when you win 99 games.
Think about it this way. We've been watching this team longer than Stearns, meaning he was in Milwaukee. We've been dealing with this stuff for years before that. I wanted to change the core after 2022 and the way that it went down. Even I, who already made my decision on saying the core wasn't good enough after the way that 2022 ended, even I had to say, you know what? I got to give them the benefit of the doubt because of what they did in 2024. 2023 was a mess. So for me, it's like, come on. What are we doing? You collapsed in 2022. 2023 was a mess. Time to change it up. 2024 started horrendously. Come on, change it up. Then they go on that run. And then it's like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong because they had some success in 2022 for the majority of that season until they blew the division.
101 wins, right?
Yeah.
Second most in Mets history, I think it was.
Until they blew that division.
Yep.
And then they had some success the end of 2024 through the postseason. So now you're thinking, all right, maybe if you add the right pieces, maybe they can get over the hump. But obviously now when you look at it in total, and Stearns has had 2 full seasons to evaluate it here, he knows it was nowhere near good enough, and now he's got to put his handprints on it, as he should. That's why he got hired by Steve Cohen.
Here's the irony. The success early complicated the job. Think about that.
Just like the Giants.
Yes.
You nailed it. It's the perfect example.
Yes, and I'll tell you what. I mean, if Daniel Jones doesn't roll into Minnesota, or they do, and he just plays poorly and they lose, I don't think that they come up with that contract. Much like if Pete doesn't hit the home run off Devin Williams, I don't think Pete's back that year.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Wood is in the Bronx. What's up, Wood?
Hey, yo, what up? It's Wood from the Bronx.
Yeah, we got that.
Brahma. Big up. Hey, yo, first 2-1 things. Why they didn't hire Mark Jackson for the Knicks? You're the weakest team on the planet for not hiring Mark Jackson for the Knicks. I don't understand that.
That's a good topic in 2015.
Listen, he's a man from New York.
I love him.
He's a man from New York.
We're not talking about Mark. I love Mark Jackson. Stop. Come on. We're way past that, Mark. I would.
I'm saying he's the man from New York. Guarantee he's the guy. Van Gundy on the sideline with him. Guarantee you. But as far as for I hope you guys go to ESPN.
No, thank you for the
Thanks,
call.
Wood. Appreciate it.
I dumped that. I don't know. We don't want to get into that stuff. No, we appreciate the kind words.
Oh, of course we do. I mean, the Mark Jackson thing was.
I knew we were going in a wrong direction with that. I should have been able to snip
You want to
that
start
out
breaking down Patrick Ewing's missed finger roll? I mean, it's a lot of. We can throw back time as much as hey, we got time, so
it's been a long
we
week.
want really. I love Mark Jackson, but that ship has sailed, man. Nobody else in the NBA has hired him either, and there's reasons for that, which I'm not going to get into now.
Yeah, and the only reason why I wanted to go to it is because it said on the screen, Mike Brown sucks. So I was like, oh, okay.
I did see that.
We got somebody maybe in agreement with you. 888-808-1019. And you know what's going to be the big topic here. Next week is obviously going to be all the hot stove stuff of the winter meetings.
Yeah.
But the Giannis thing is going to continue to be front and center as it pertains to the Knicks. Forget about their results or their record or who's coaching the team. Until the Giannis thing gets resolved, it's going to be all about Giannis, as it should. I mean, he's that big of a star. We did the show on it yesterday. The majority of the show, that's going to be the main talking point as it pertains to the Knicks.
I would say, if you ask me, what is it, December 5th? I think it is December 5th. If you say, all right, for the next month or so, even the next 2 months, what's the biggest topics here? All right, when or if is Shane fired? Will the Jets draft the quarterback? Will the Knicks get Giannis? And then obviously all the great hot stove that you and I have been throwing around for for forever at this point.
Charlie's in Newburgh. What's up, Charlie?
Chuck. You right?
Chuck, you get the phone pot there, Rami? Charlie? No?
Charlie, you good? No?
Frank is calling from White Plains. What's up, Frank? We got an issue with the phones here? I guess so. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. So, yeah, I mean, Schwarber, Alonso, that's been the main topic here. Obviously, the Mets already made a big move with Devin Williams. We'll see what the Yankees do as I anticipate some action. You're saying the Yankees aren't going to have an active offseason here, but they got to do something. You're right. The Mets are in a worse spot than the Yankees were, meaning you got to rebuild an 83-win team who has a high payroll that couldn't even make the playoffs, whereas the Yankees won 94 games, lose the division on a tiebreaker. The steps that they have to climb the ladder are fewer than the Mets do, but they still need to climb some steps while the other teams are already climbing.
Yes, no, listen, it's less dire in the Bronx because right now the Yankees are better than the Mets, but now, I'm not saying they're not going to do anything, but let's do this very quickly here. Give me a yes or no. I want you to do it. You ready? You think Ben Rice is playing first base opening day? Ish. First, lefty-righty matchup aside. You think he's the first baseman?
Yes.
All right. You think Jazz is playing second base opening day?
I actually don't. Starting to hear some rumblings. We talked about this.
I've been saying for about 3 months now that there's no way they're going to extend him. And I said last week that they could trade him this offseason.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't think he's going to be the second baseman, nor do I think he should be. I think that would be a good move from the Yankees.
Depending upon what they do. But the variable is he might not be back, right?
Right,
okay. I'm kind of with you. Do you think Caballero's playing shortstop opening day?
Probably.
You think
just
McMahon's playing third
holding
base?
the seat for Volpe, the Golden Boy.
Volpe.
Yeah.
Yep. The Golden Boy. Come on.
Oh, they love him.
I know they do. I'm still rooting for the kid so hard. I hope he figures things out. Real quick, the thing about Volpe, and this sucks, and I remember back in the day, like Michael Jordan, young basketball players, whether you're 7 or you're a young NBA player, the laboratory to add a part to your game is the summer. So, like when Michael came in the NBA, he was just jumping over people, and then he came back with that little fall away like Kobe. You kind of add to your game. The problem for Volpe is that he's got a massive hole to clean up in his swing, and he can't go to work because his shoulder is still in a sling.
Right.
So, I don't know how you get a different player to start next year because he can't really put the work in. Not that he doesn't want to. If anything, I've heard he works too hard. Either way. Caballero shortstop opening day?
Yeah.
McMahon third base opening day?
I mean, it can't.
But it's going to be.
Why is it going to be? It can't.
So you say no?
It better not be.
I think it is. Wells behind the plate opening day?
Yeah.
Judge Ian Wright, of course. Grisham in center field opening day? Yes or no? Stanton DH in opening day? Yes or no?
Dude.
Well, so this is my point.
But it's just not good enough.
No, but when I tell you I don't think they're going to do that much, that's why.
So what do you think that they're going to do? Bring Bellinger back and that's it?
I think they're going to bring back Bellinger.
Trade Jazz?
I think there's a good chance they trade Jazz, and I believe they will get another pitcher. I do.
Woof. To me, that's not what I would be doing. You know who I'd like? Somebody came up yesterday on Baseball Night in New York. Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals.
Yeah. They've liked him for a while, actually.
He's the type of player that I want. Obviously, Quan would be the dream for me. Put him in left field, go Glover, let him lead off in front of Judge. Can they get a leadoff hitter? Is that too much to ask?
I haven't had one since Derek and Nobby, so I don't know.
There's got to be some kind of improvement on this team other than bringing Bellinger back and saying, well, Cole back healthy is going to be the improvement, or even trading Jazz and changing that a little bit. There's got to be an improvement.
Well, you're getting probably 20 more starts from Schlittler. That's going to help there. But no, you can't bank on, there could be sophomore regression. We've seen it many times in baseball with pitchers, sure.
Nick is calling from Franklin Square. What's up, Nick?
Yo, Nick.
Hey, how are you guys? Just want to say I love listening to you guys. I'm going to miss you guys on the in the afternoons.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Well, not the mornings? Thanks,
one
Nick.
thing. Okay. The mornings. You know what I mean.
I'm just messing, guy.
Big time Mets fan. Okay, now, say we lose Pete. We go after Schwarber. Now, we have to add somebody else besides Schwarber. Sal, I know you're a big time Mets fan. Who would you like to add besides Schwarber if we lose Pete? And also, what pitchers would you like to go after? Because you like how you guys said McClain's going to be the number 3. Who's your top 2 pitchers you want to go after?
Here's the problem with that, Nick, and thank you for the call. I wanted the Mets to trade for Tarek Skubal and sign Ranger Suarez, and I still want that to be the case. I just don't know how realistic that is at this point, meaning what's the availability of Skubal? We could talk about Skeens and Skubal all we want.
Yeah.
They have to be made available. And if they're made available, then the Mets make... See, the Mets can't make a move for Joe Ryan or Freddie Peralta and give up any asset that could potentially be used in a deal for Skubal.
Kind of like the Knicks with the Bridges, who now don't have the first-round picks for Giannis.
You correct. They better... Not that I want the Tigers to hold me up here, but... You got to make sure that if he is available, you're in a spot to go trade for him, regardless of what it takes outside of Noel McClain. So that would be my number 1. But any way you slice it, I'll have my 2 guys. You'll have your 2 guys, BT. Our listeners, callers could have their 2 guys. They need 2 guys, like not just any arm. 2 top of. They need a number 1 and a number 2. Who that is can vary. I gave you mine. I want Skubal and Suarez. I could be open to Peralta and Valdez. There's any kind of combination, but that's what they need to do. As far as replacing Alonso, I don't think you could do it outside of Kyle Schwarber, as far as the power goes.
Yeah. Now something else that you and I have thrown on the table, not even to necessarily revisit it now. It's on old shows. Yep. You guys can find it, free Odyssey app, whatever. But what about Tatis? I mean, that's the other option that you and I were throwing around.
I actually thought about that when he was saying it, yes.
So if it's a Schwarber, DH, and maybe a Tatis, you trade for him.
He doesn't replace the power, though.
No, but he gives you a dynamic speed and a rifle from the outfield. No, for sure. A little bit of a different element there. It's crazy. Of all the things that I think, right, are, well, not that I think, that are on the table. What's Bellinger going to do? What's Pete going to do? What's Diaz going to do? Any other variable pertaining to both the Yankees and the Mets this offseason, the one thing that I am absolutely most sure about is the Mets will crush their new rotation. Their rotation will look so different, and it won't be fifth starters disguised as 2s or 4s disguised as 1s. I think the Mets are going to crush the rotation, and I've said that for a while. I really believe that. 888-808-1019, BT and Sound on the Fan. Hey, you know what? I mean, I got to be honest. I'm actually, and I'm not just saying this, I'm really excited for the Jets game. Like, there's something to talk about with these. Looking at me like I'm nuts. I'll tell you why coming up.
Come on, man.
I am. Usually by now I'm checked out. I'm betting against the Jets. Now I actually might go to the game again. All right. Operating engineers local 825 are the men and women who make our region move, whether it's roads, bridges, or your favorite team stadium. They build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we all rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing these signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of Internet Past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet. That's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
FanDuel's the #1 sports book for same-game parlays from point points and rebounds to threes and dimes, FanDuel is the spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all on one easy-to-use, simple app. And right now is a perfect time to join because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, simple to navigate, and the best part is when you win, you get paid right away, right in the account. FanDuel, of course, the official sports book of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Having the right winter tire matters. So take control of the roads this winter with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire. Town Fair has the region's largest inventory of Bridgestone tires, all at the guaranteed lowest prices you'll find anywhere. And with 100 locations, you'll find a Town Fair near you. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone Blizzak tires and the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time for Cyber Monday, Dell Technologies' biggest sale of the year. Enjoy the lowest prices of the year on select PCs like the Dell 16 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors. And with built-in advanced features, it's the PC that helps you do more faster. Plus, earn Dell rewards and enjoy many other benefits like free shipping, price match guarantee, and expert support. They also have huge deals on accessories that pair perfectly with your Dell PC and make perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
MSC Cruises Black Friday sale is here with the best deal of the year. Cruise from $199. Plus get up to $1,000 onboard credit and kids sail free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort. From global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
A win isn't a win without the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The official beer sponsor of the New York Giants. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Sal back on the Fan. Buster Only on X says that the Tigers continue. I'm just reading it right now, verbatim from Buster Only.
Scooble?
From X. Yeah.
Right.
The Tigers continue to be engaged with other teams in discussing the Tarek Skubal trade options. Still unclear whether they'll actually move the left-hander in a big trade. The asking prices are enormous, as you could imagine. He could be the biggest difference maker for a team in obviously. Detroit would have to get significant value in return to do this. Tigers can end the conversation at any point by announcing they're keeping him. So based off of that, like we were just talking about before, who do I want? Based off of that and common sense, Detroit is not paying Skubal $400 million. They would absolutely be idiots to hold on to him and risk any kind of injury, subpar performance. Their highest return right now for Skubal. That's the best return they're going to do. His value will not be higher. The idea that it would be, and I've seen some reports that say that at the deadline, is asinine. You right now in the offseason have a chance where a team could have him for a full season, make a mega move in the offseason, and I'm thinking about the Mets. Think about what Skubal does to the Mets and invigorating the fan base and the fanfare.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. So you can't tell me that Skubal, who maybe the Mets would be his best suitor, would be more valuable to them at the trade deadline than he is right now. He wouldn't. They definitely have to give up less. So for me, that's where the Mets should be. Not Joe Ryan and Buxton, not Peralta. It should be Skubal. Hone in, zone in, focus, whatever you need to do. Bullseye on what do we need to do to get Skubal. Forget Alonso, forget Diaz. All about Skubal. That's where the Mets' focus should be.
I didn't see Seaver in his prime, but I can only imagine what Old Shea Stadium sounded like when Tom was on the mound. I was right there when Dwight Gooden was coming out with the K-corner, and it sounded like just about nothing I've ever heard before in New York sports, and you had to be there to remember that sound. And if you were, you agree with me. Prime, vintage, however short it was. Matt Harvey, think that, and then think Skubal on the mound, 60 feet, 6 inches away in the middle of a baseball diamond in Queens with 40,000 plus people cheering on what they anticipate to be strikeout number 13. I mean, there's just not many guys like him.
Right.
So I agree with everything that you said. Counterpoint, though.
Yeah.
If I'm the Tigers, is it worth a play? Hey, Derek. 87 wins a year ago. Now, they didn't win the division. They lost by a game or two to the Guardians, as we know. But we all anticipate the Guardians stripping down further, which means they should take a step back. Why wouldn't the Tigers make a couple of bold offseason moves to maybe, reinvigorate Skubal's desire to stay in Detroit when he becomes a free agent?
Because they can't pay him. Now, I think they're not going to. I guess anybody can.
Okay.
They're not going to pay him $400. Dude, you saw the disparity in where the offer was.
They paid Miggy Cabrera all those years ago.
I know, but the fact that
they paid Juan Gonzalez, you're not going to pay Tarek Skubal.
They were like a couple $100 million apart or something like that Heyman reported.
It's early.
It was absurd. Here's the thing. I wouldn't argue and say there's no way that they would be better off just taking a run at it. Forget his contract beyond this year. They, in my mind, have two options because they're not giving him $400 million, which he's going to get on the open market. Or at least he might get more than that. They have two options. One, you trade him now and maximize the return on a player that you know you're not going to be able to sign beyond this year. Two, you bite the bullet and say, we know we're going to risk losing him for nothing, but we're taking a run at going to win a World Series. Now, do you think that that's the smart play if you're the Detroit Tigers?
No, I think it's the dumbest of the two, but that's why I kind of give you the other one where it's kind of a hybrid where if you add some funds to the roster and you really, for whatever their all-in is in Detroit, you try to move up to that, and then maybe you try to incentivize. Maybe he loves it there. And if you get to the World Series, maybe he stays.
But BT, it's not that he wants to leave because he doesn't like being in Detroit.
You're going to say they can't pay him.
Well, no,
they won't pay him.
He wants more money.
Yep, and
so
I'm saying pay him.
Okay, it's a winning situation.
Pay the guy. Bleep you. Pay me, like Ari used to say.
Different story. Different story. But if they're not going to pay him, this is not trying to lure Skubal to stay. No. It's two options. Either have him here to go take your best shot at winning a World Series, or trade him to build your club better without him, because you're not going to. I mean, the third option would be sign him long term, which it doesn't seem like they could do. I'm fine with that option if you're Detroit, sure. If I'm in Detroit, I'm saying, what are you doing? You got to sign this guy here. Come on, he's our ace. He's a stud. Lock him up long term. You shouldn't be trying to trade him. But would you run the risk of keeping him for 1 year, hoping that it ends up in a World Series berth, knowing that you could lose him for nothing? That wouldn't make any sense to me. BT and Sal on the Fan 888-808-109.
Real fast, think about this, Sal. So I know the Baez thing was a disaster, and he's got a little more time on that contract. How the hell do you justify paying Javi Baez $25 million, but maybe even more so? They brought in Jack Flaherty a year ago. They gave him almost $30 million. Yeah. So it's like, this is not the Pirates here.
I'm not saying
this is not the Marlins. I think now. I don't think that. I think they'd have to swallow hard to make the numbers work. But I actually think there's a way, if they want to, but if they don't want to, then they may as well pack up shop. They're idiots. I think that they could actually pay him.
I'm just going off of the reports. I don't know Detroit's finances.
I got him in front of me.
I don't really care. The report
Glaber's making $15 million.
Yeah, but I'm saying the report. This is an actual report from John Heyman. This is a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, or even dated back to, I think, last year. It wasn't like, well, they're $100 million apart or $50 million apart. It was a significant. I forget the exact amount.
Was it 200?
I thought so. It was whatever it was. It was like, wow, that's not even close. Like their offer was maybe $150 million. He's gonna get $400 if he hits the open market. If he hits the open market, do you think Detroit would be willing to outbid Steve Cohen and the Mets?
No, nor would he outbid the Yankees and the Dodgers and 3 or 4 of the. No, they would get destroyed. No chance.
You're not keeping them.
I agree. But that's why you try to do that preemptively now by building a real team around. They're good, but I mean even better. And, maybe, unless in $150 is not going to cut it, but if you can get to, north of $300 million, I mean, Detroit's not market number 97, but it's almost a top 10 market.
They'd have a shot. They haven't even gotten close to 300. I don't think.
Well, then that's on them. That's a them problem. I don't know how you don't. That's just disgusting.
Point. So, which leads us to he might be and is being shopped and might be available. Yeah, the price is going to be enormous. Okay, as it should be. Still, go get him. And if they don't like it, then you just wait until he hits free agency and then you get him next year. Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Steve is calling from Long Island. What's up, Steve?
Hey, boys. Go back to NBA for a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Before I talk about Giannis to the Knicks, a couple of weeks ago you were talking about going to the AC/DC concert.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I was listening to that.
I'll be there, MetLife.
I thought you were struggling for 80 bands, and I'm yelling at the top of my lungs in my car, Van Halen.
I love Van Halen. Yeah, of course. A little hot for teacher.
At the time you were struggling, you were thinking like Zeppelin and other
listen, bands. Stevie, we'll leave it. I had a lot on my mind, buddy. I know my 80s bands. Don't worry, dude. But thank you.
Enjoy AC/DC. Anyway,
7 months from now.
I would love to see Giannis to the Knicks, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Bucks want Cat. They have Miles Turner.
They don't want Cat.
It's going to need to be Brunson and like OG, and I don't think the Knicks do that.
Yeah, and the other thing, Steve, I think you're probably right. I'm with you on the instincts. Why would the Bucks want Cat? I mean, same age, inferior player, obviously a very good player, but he's not Giannis. And they did sign Miles Turner, so I think then again, and they're both a little softish. It's not like Miles Turner is a throwback post player. He likes to float those jump shots up as well. So a little redundancy there. I think the problem here, because they don't want Cat, is that if they do want Bridges can't be dealt until what, February? What is that? February 5th?
February 1st.
February 1st, okay.
Oh, so he can't be dealt.
He cannot, even if they want to. They can agree on the terms. It can't happen until February 1.
I knew that, but yesterday we screwed that up because in my mind I'm thinking he has to be traded before February. For some reason I had my wires crossed with that one. But
you could trade OG, I guess, tomorrow, even though he's hurt. You could trade whomever else you want. Yeah, if the Bucks were adamant about Bridges, you have to wait till February.
Okay, enough basketball. So per Feinstein,
Here we go.
Nothing definitive here. Per Feinstein, let me just make sure. Yeah.
Enough basketball.
I've had it. The Mets and Orioles are among the favorites. That's a quote. Among the favorites for Framber Valdez.
There you go.
Baltimore's GM was in Houston's front office during Valdez's four seasons. I'm just reading this here. This is a post I'm seeing on SNY Mets feed here on social media. But the Mets and Orioles, according to Mark Feinstein of MLB.com, are among the favorites for Framber Valdez. Here's the thing. I'm fine with Valdez. How much is he going to get?
I'm going to say 7 years, 210. That's what I'm going to call.
Oh.
I mean, you got to give up something to get the guy.
I know, but I don't know if I'd rather pay somebody less than I'd rather have Suarez at a better value than Valdez. Is he an ace? He had a 3.66 ERA last year. He's not an ace?
He's not an ace. I think he's a really, really good 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so then where are you getting the ace? Are you going to be able to pay Valdez $210 million and then get Skubal on top of that?
No. I don't think you would do that.
Well, then why would you sign Valdez and take yourself out of the running for Skubal? That's stupid.
I'm going to tell you. Well, but this is where it becomes very interesting because Valdez very well might have multiple offers soon. And if the Tigers are sitting there twiddling their thumbs, the Mets have to decide, all right, I mean, are they going to trade him or not? And if they wait for them to trade him so that then they can pounce, which I would understand because Skubal's 10 times better than Valdez, but then Skubal's not traded, but yet Valdez signs with Baltimore, well, then you're right back where you were a year ago. Now you got to make trades. It's just with other people and maybe overpay other free agents. I'm almost guaranteeing that Valdez is going to be in Queens.
There's more in here from Feinstein about the pitchers. We'll take a break, come back, and go over that good article here from Mark Feinstein at MLB.com.
Okay.
We'll break it down, go over some of the options here as it pertains to the free agent arms. BT and Sal on the Fan.
All right. Yep. Hey, this winter, celebrate the joy of the season in an all-new electric SUV from our friends at Cadillac. Of course, the official title sponsor of the BT and Sal show. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated stylings of the Lyric. And you and I have both. I've had Cadillac for over 12 years. You were in one last summer. We were both in one for a month this fall. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Yeah, you can also discover the comfort of the spacious 3-row Vistic. I loved it. The Lyric, the Optic. I know you love the Cadillac, like you said. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit Tri-State Cadillac Dealer. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Giannis Antetokounmpo's calf strain may sideline him for up to a month, and it hits right as questions about his future in Milwaukee are heating up. With ESPN reporting ongoing discussions about his long-term plans, this could freeze any trade talks. Doc Rivers insists Giannis has never asked out, but with the Bucks slipping in the standings and their superstar now hurt, the drama around his next move just cranked up. I'm Maggie Gray.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win.
And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council. Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Cloudy skies with a high around 33.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Tap Room is your casual gathering place for real food, craft beverages, and every New York game. With 9 Long Island locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. It's where you meet friends, make new ones, and never miss the action. football, hockey, or basketball. Enjoy Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. Tap Room, real food, craft beer, and great company. Find your spot at taproomofny.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT, it's out back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call.
All right, so we're going to get to that baseball tweet or some fine sand stuff that you saw in a minute, but help me out with this.
Yes.
I mean, I've long known, because I'm one of them as well, we got a bunch of gavones at the station. If there's food out there, if there's drinks out there, if there's sweatshirts out there, if there's T-shirts out there, we've got like this community area.
Yes.
And it's just, every man or woman for himself. We understand the rules here. So anyway, maybe we're cleaning things out. And Sal in the office took a bunch of baseball cards.
Yeah, I have been cleaning my stuff out of the office for a while. They're doing renovations here or whatever.
Yeah, there's all that stuff going on. So a lot of stuff going on.
And then we had a bunch of extra baseball card packs back there.
Now, you didn't just put out loose packs. You took out like you actually see in the store in the big cardboard
I made it look like a store. 3 packs.
Like a store. Well said. There you go.
3 packs of cards open. Yeah, 2 things of Fleer, 90, 91, and then there was an 88 score.
Oh, score. Okay.
Mattingly. Did you? So you did see them?
Well, here's where I'm going. Yeah. So I'm walking. I don't know what time it was. Maybe half hour before the show. Maybe a little bit. About 9:30. And I'm walking to get my cup of coffee that I'll sip during the show. And I'm like, oh, baseball. And I knew it was from you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just stuff 5 or 6 packs in my pocket in case Santa forgets. Right. I'll stick them in Colt's Christmas stocking.
That was what I wanted.
If Santa doesn't do his job. Then I just went out to go to the bathroom. Not only is every pack gone, the boxes are gone.
There's no trace of any cards. I walk out there, I'm like,
who the hell took them?
What happened to the cards? There were 3 boxes of cards, like you said. Even if every person that worked here took 5 packs, there'd be more than enough because there's nobody here. Like, everybody could add 5, maybe even 10 packs each.
Absolutely.
I go out there within an hour and a half, all the boxes are gone.
It was a boomer. It wasn't Gio. He didn't even really love talking baseball.
I thought maybe
somebody going to take baseball cards.
No, nobody wants to. I thought somebody threw them out, honestly.
What?
That's what I thought. I looked in the garbage.
So let's narrow it down. Wasn't Boomer, wasn't Gio.
Hoff?
I don't think it was Hoff. Maybe a couple, but Hoffy?
Did you get any for Ant? You take any?
No, if it was food, I would have definitely finished it.
For the record, you bring it like for Colt or whatever. But,
well, just in case Santa forgets to stick it in the stocking.
But would he even... What's the appeal with like an 88 or 90? How do you go through the process with him pulling cards that he has no idea who these players are?
Well, first of all, he knows Mattingly, he knows Griffey, he knows some of the names, and then if there's like a star, like say from 88, Oral Hershiser.
Yeah,
that's the name that pops in, right?
I love Oral.
Who doesn't, dude? Yeah. I'll say
he was a stud. I mean, we had him on Fanatics.
Tremendous. I would say, hey, Colt, hey, this pitcher broke Don Drysdale's consecutive scoreless, inning streak. I think it was 55 or 58, whatever it was. Yeah. So I'll kind of just take something historically. Now, does he remember it? I don't know. Some of it he does. Or Jesse Barfield before he came here. Hey, this guy had a rocket from right field.
Cool.
That's what I'll do with those old ones.
I get it. I was just checking, like, young kids.
We're not looking to make money on them.
Well, they're not worth
exactly.
They're not worth anything. So
that's why you left them.
Where are they?
I don't know.
And that's why I left them. Right.
I don't blame you. You're not going to leave out, $7,000 worth, especially now, of merchandise out there. Nor should you.
But think about this. If we wanted to do one more, like, pull your card segment.
Yeah.
The cards are gone.
I got a bunch in my pocket.
Okay, good.
I'm good.
So
I think I took 6 or so.
Okay. All right, so we got to have some fun with that. BT, we got to find out with them. BT and Sal on the Fan. Let me get back to this report.
Yeah, what do you got there?
That we're talking about MLB.com. Let me just pull it up. So this is Mark Feinstein talking about the top 5 starting pitchers available on the free agent market.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dylan C, 7 years,
Gone.
210. Okay, so let's go over the names. Ranger Suarez. This is according to Mark Feinstein, MLB.com.
Mm-hmm.
A number of clubs have been attached to Suarez in recent weeks. Sources tabbing the Astros, Cubs, and Orioles as the most serious threats to sign him away from the Phillies.
Now, real quick.
Mets and Tigers also in the mix.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were moving on to the next guy. I didn't mean to jump on you there with the other team. So this is interesting. Like, if you are the Astros and Valdez is currently your property, why would you let him leave the building and then pay big money for Suarez? If you valued Valdez that much, why not just keep Valdez?
I'm assuming Valdez is going to command more money. That's why.
No, I know, but how much more? I don't think that much more.
I don't know.
Yeah?
I'm not sure about that. All right, next one here.
Yep.
And by the way, I like Suarez. So
he's always been your guy.
Yeah. Anyway, Mets are on whatever. Tatsuya Amai. This is the guy I really want.
Of course, yeah.
In addition to others, I just want him as like a third option. The Yanks, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, Cubs are believed to be the most interested clubs. Orioles could become a factor if Baltimore decides to go big fish hunting. Okay, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Framber Valdez, this is where he said the Mets and Orioles among the favorites, as both of those decision makers at the clubs have history with Valdez. Okay, and then Michael King is the last one. Sources tab the Yanks, Cubs, Mets, and Tigers, the most interested clubs, though the Orioles, Angels, Padres, Marlins also in the mix for King. You would think King is going to command far fewer dollars, and that's why maybe more clubs are involved in him. And Mets seem to be in on everybody, as they should be. Yankees in on a couple here. Would you take Michael King back?
Yes.
From a Yankee perspective?
Yes. Yeah, I would. I know you don't like him that much.
I like him. All right, let me pull up.
You want more?
Yeah, no, he's all right. Put it this way. I'd rather get Amai as my third option as opposed to pay for Michael King, who I think is very good. Just, I want to go big here.
Yeah, but Amai could be a stiff. There's no guarantee.
Agreed.
At least you know what you get with King. When he's healthy, he's really good.
I don't know if he's a stud.
Dude, he's like 11 strikeouts per 9. He's terrific.
Give me the category then you'd put King in. Because I put Valdez and Suarez in a different category than him.
I'll put it this way. I'm going to put him in the same category. Not that he's going to get the same years or the same money. He's absolutely not.
But you think performance-wise?
If they are, all three of those men are healthy, and I've got a game to win, and I go Valdez and Suarez and Michael King, I have as much faith myself that Michael King is going to put up, innings and pitch count, who knows, but a representative start, meaning a high amount of strikeouts, low-ish amount of walks, and give his team a chance to win. It's not like I would say, oh, Valdez is so much better, oh, Suarez is so much better. When Michael King is on, he deals as much as anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you're going based off of the potential. Remember, obviously, he was in the bullpen with the Yankees. You get converted.
Not just potential. His starts with San Diego.
But that's 1 year. And then this past year, he threw 73 innings. So,
but what was his Ks per 9? 11, 12?
The numbers are good.
That's why I'm just saying when he's healthy.
The ERA is good. Ks per 9.
11, 12? It's got to be up there. It's high.
9.3 this year.
Well, okay.
The last 3 years, it's been in descending order: 10.4, 10.9, 11.6.
Okay, so
the
almost
highest
11.
was when he was with the Yankees.
Gotcha.
There's potential there, and maybe that's why the price is going to be better, because you're buying the potential, which is why I say I take him in the same category as Amai, because it's about the potential. Whereas Valdez, Suarez, they're more known commodities. Certainly Peralta or Skubal, of course, they're more known commodity top-end guys, where King could be a top-end guy.
Yeah.
He also could sit as a 3.
Yep, but you also wouldn't be saddled with 7 years, $210 million, which would be appealing because you got the Soto contract. Lindor, real quick on this as well, and I know you have something. I think you have something else, do you? I was going to say.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Unless you want me to start reading my personal, unless you're reading my personal text on the air, which we can get to at some point.
Hey, we might be. This keeps dragging out. So actually, we probably shouldn't. We'll get in trouble. All right. So,
oh God.
Jesus. I remember last year, and it seemed a little geeky, but honestly, it really mattered to me. I remember when Max Fried was in the crosshairs and then eventually signed with the Yankees. One of the things that I said, hey, as a lefty whose ball moves in and like toward the ankles of right-handed hitters, that's going to be a lot of ground balls at third base. That's why I talked up the Yankees defense, where they needed a third baseman for Max Fried. Not to mention some of the other lefties, right? So and they did that with Ryan McMahon bringing him in. Now, Valdez is a ground ball pitcher to the point where, again, I'm not trying to be a nerd, 97th percentile in terms of ground ball rate. He just, opposing hitters hammer balls into the dirt. Now, I say that because if he's going to be a Met, and I believe he will be, Lindor took a big step back defensively, though I think he probably rebounds. Pete, I know he could scoop. I don't love him on the ground balls and all that. First base. Third base, I do think Beatty's good, but if Vientos is playing third base, that's a train wreck. And second base is going to be awesome with Simeon. So would it concern you, and I know you like Suarez more than Valdez. I get, yes. But if it is Valdez, who's an upgrade over what you currently have, all the ground balls with the current Mets infield defense, because all you're going to see is ground balls with this guy.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, Lindor, Simeon, I like, as you mentioned. We'll see what they do.
Again, Lindor took a step back last year. Big one.
Well, we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do with third base and first base. Unsure of that at the moment. So no, but I would not have that concern. One thing that you brought up that makes me think it to another layer, another level of this. You mentioned Max Fried. 8 years, $218 million.
Yep.
If the Mets are going to be in on all these guys, which they are, it actually bothers me that they weren't in at all on Fried last year. Because think of the value. I trust Max Fried more than I do Valdez or Suarez. He's better.
Yes,
Max Fried's been better than those guys.
No question.
So you're going to have to pay a similar price, maybe not 8 years.
No, not 8.
Okay, but still, you're going to be in the same. For the Yankees, what's the difference? $200 million that we're going to spend anyway, and they're like, screw it, we want him, we need him. Let's get the extra year. It's going to be the same ballpark. What did Cease get? 7 years,
7 year, 210, I think it was.
Yeah.
Definitely 7 and over 2.
So, okay, so
I know, why not just do Fried last year?
Yeah.
Well, because Stearns was sticking to a plan that really worked for him up until last year. Now he's got to deviate from it, and he knows it.
I know, but that cost them.
It did.
My whole logic last year was like, all right, you got Soto. You don't need the top-end starter. I like going with the budget type, rotation. And now they're going to go away from that. So if I'm going to invest in somebody, I want it to be somebody that's better than Fried, that I'm giving more money than Fried to. You know what I mean? I do. It has nothing to do with the Yankees. It has to do with the contract.
Yeah.
So if I get Schoolball, I know I've got the best pitcher possible, and let me pay him. I'm not going to overpay for a number 2 or a number 3 or a guy who might be an ace on some days and might not be.
I think that's smart. You can't change last year. You can only attack this year. And there was a stretch, and we all remember this, where Max Fried was really scuffling, like for about 5 weeks. But I just popped up his numbers. Man, you look at, when you just see the numbers staring back at you, a war of almost 5, number one. But, all right, 19 wins. I get it. Team stat, antiquated. 2.86 ERA. I mean, 200 innings, almost 200 whiffs. What a great first year at the Yankees. He's a stud.
He's a true ace.
Yeah.
He is a true ace. Is Valdez a true ace?
No, he's not.
Is King a true ace?
No.
Is Suarez a true ace?
No, he's not.
And you're going to pay. Is Dylan Cease a true ace?
No, but he does give you the 200 whiffs and the 200 innings 5 years in a row. But no, probably not a true ace.
And look at what you're paying.
Yeah, I know.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a break. Come back. More of your calls. 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan 1019 FM.
The top story in New York football, it's the fact that Tomlin is coming.
I will believe that when I see that.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
FanDuel Fridays, turning it up with an NBA happy hour for you every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel's dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boost, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo, it's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/BT to jump in and get your reward before the clock expires. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel is the official sports book of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Experience the magic of the season in true Mercedes-Benz style during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Find the perfect Mercedes-Benz for yourself or someone special at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Katina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey, 1 legendary name, renowned for unmatched customer service, Ray Katina. Celebrate the season with exclusive holiday offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. more. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Nice. My side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by New York City Small Business Services. Another start coming for Tyrod Taylor Sunday as the Jets host the Dolphins, but a new backup QB this week. Aaron Glenn explains.
Justin had some knee soreness in practice on Wednesday. We limited him on Thursday, and today he'll be out. And there's a chance he's going to be out for the game. All right, and we'll see how he progresses as the going into next week, for him to be ready for that. So Brady Cook will be our backup quarterback, and we'll be ready to go.
Glenn added that he believes Cook, the rookie from Missouri, will be a starting QB in the league down the road. The Finns coming to town on a 3-game win streak. They are technically still in the playoff chase, but 3 games back of the last AFC wildcard spot. And former Lakers center Eldon Campbell died this week at just 57 years old. Broward County, Florida officials now say that Campbell drowned after suffering a sudden medical emergency upon returning from a fishing trip. Fan weather is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It is 27 degrees, some sun in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
On the Fan, where your calls 888-808-1019, talking baseball hot stove. And I know you're excited somehow about Sunday's matchup, Jets and Dolphins. You got to explain to not only me, but the audience why that is going to be the case.
I'm excited that I'm starting to see the direction of the team take shape. What are you laughing
No,
at,
I'm just thinking back to all the times that we had together where you just...
Go ahead, say what?
I'm not
going to say I'm a homer. Is that where you go?
No.
Say whatever you want to say.
No, you have the ability to regenerate with the Jets and believe in the Jets like no other. I will.
I am unique with them. I will give you that.
No matter what the circumstances, like, God damn, this team, they suck. And then it's like the next week, it's like, all right, I see the positivity. All right, Salah or Devontae Adams or whatever it may be. And this time I think there's legitimacy to it.
Exactly.
But it's just funny looking across, seeing you with that look in your eye when talking about the Jets because I've seen it before.
I'm 0 for 5 with you. So, I understand that you've definitely seen it. And trust me, the audience has heard it. Let me tell you why, though. I mean, at this point, first of all, I should have said, like, this late in the season. There's been little flickers, early on, like some of the crazy comebacks, whether it was Zach in Pittsburgh or Flacco. I believe that was against the Browns. Like, there's been a couple of early-ish season games where I'm like, okay, even when Zach played really well against Kansas City in prime time, I'm not saying there's been no flickers. But those flickers were early because once the flickers got extinguished, then the season was upon us and the season was over. And then it's time to start betting against the Jets and self-loathing against the Jets because you want people fired. Now, I think back really over the last decade or so, obviously when the Jets went 10-6 back in 2015 with Todd Bowles, of course, and now it did end well with the loss up in Buffalo. Fitzpatrick was awful, throwing a pick in the end zone, etc. But that was a fun year. I mean, you had Marshall and Decker 1,000 yards each. You won 10 games. The only other year, and I'm actually looking at the years to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think the only other year that I was genuinely, now it's a combination, don't get me wrong, of excitement and intrigue. Like that, to be fair, it's not just like, oh God, I can't wait to watch the Jets. It's excitement, but it's also intrigue to see if they could keep building on this, which I believe that they can, and I hope that they will. But I think the only other time would have been, I guess that would have been the 2018 season. Was it 2018? Yeah, the 2018 season, and it was the last game of the year, and I think they were a 4-win team that year. But Sam Darnold actually made some he was a rookie, made some really good plays up in Buffalo in snow and ridiculous wind. And I'm like, okay. And he actually had a pretty decent statistical rookie year. So I was excited because I thought more than Zach that early Darnold was actually going to be the guy. But, I mean, it's got to start somewhere. And I know that everybody, I get it. If I get mucked up and bogged down by, you still have no quarterback, I understand that. Got an offensive line, got a special team unit everywhere that's dominant. They may have just found your second wide receiver in Mitchell, and then obviously Garrett Wilson. They've got a tight end I like. And there are some young kids on the team that are playing meaningful reps that, that could mean good things for the future. And then you mix in the fact that the head coach who was tripping all over himself the first month is kind of growing on the job. So I'm excited. Yeah. Don't stifle the enthusiasm. That's all I got these days.
I hear what you're saying, and there's obviously a lot of truth to that. But I don't need to watch a team be built, especially in a playing Miami, when Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback. So it's the right way to build it, yes. But the sexy part of watching a team that has nothing to play for,
it's not there.
It's the quarterback.
Well, I'm saying it's not there for the Jets.
Yeah, even the Giants. It's okay. Nobody wants to watch the Giants at this point anymore.
I don't even want to talk about the Giants. I'm talked out about it. I got nothing to say about the Giants.
Agreed. But at least when Jackson Dart is there, he's appealing to watch, and you say, okay, I'm excited about the future because of him. The Jets parts, yes, you could be excited about the future. And by the way, the Jets parts could be more impactful because it's not just one individual. It's structure. It's a foundation being laid, put in place so that when you do bring the one piece in, now you could take off. With the Giants, it's the one piece. Everything else is a total chaos and mess. Who's the GM? Who's the head coach? What do the pieces look like around him? But just for me to sit there and say, I'm excited to watch the Jets and Dolphins on Sunday at 1. Now, I do have Mitchell on my fantasy team, and that's going to be a big deal. Final week of the regular season, I need him to go off this week.
Well, how's the weather going to be? I didn't check, and I'm usually a weather snob.
Actually, my wife was sending me something. It's supposed to rain. I know it's been freezing out.
It rains every Sunday at MetLife, it seems like, with the Jets. It's probably going to rain, be dank and windy and all that stuff. Here's the other thing, too. Now, of course, do you have the weather on?
Sunday looks like just a cloud. I don't really know how to read the weather here on the iPhone, but it's just a cloud.
Okay.
And then 26 low, high of 38.
27, that's a little nippy. Any wind? Because the wind is that changes the day.
It doesn't show any wind emojis here or whatever it may be. You know what I'm talking about? The wind.
Yeah, I do. With
you see the lines?
Yes, I know what you mean. All right, so the thing about the quarterback, which is obviously the big thing for the Jets moving forward, but this is why Aaron Glenn made the right decision going to Tyrod Taylor. Now, I think Tyrod Taylor's on the team next year as the backup. I think that Justin Fields is gone. I think that they will cut him. I think that they will then have to pay, I think it's about $20 million worth of dead money, which obviously is not ideal. And then they will still have the dead money from Aaron Rodgers, which is obviously not ideal. And if you draft whether it's a Mendoza or Dante Moore or Ty Simpson, or you just punt to 27, which I think they probably will at the quarterback position. Bottom line is there's a lot of money dedicated to the quarterback room, so it's clearly not ideal. But the reason you had to play Tyrod Taylor, I needed. You just said you got Mitchell on your fantasy team. Yeah. I promise you, if Justin Fields was still the quarterback, you would not have picked him up because he would not have flashed.
Correct.
I need to see these other guys get some reps, and that's. Listen, I might be reaching a little bit. I might be searching a little bit. I might even be fooling myself a little bit. But I do believe that at least on the lowest level, a foundation, a core of principles and hard work and discipline, core values. I think Aaron Glenn is establishing that this year. I do. And I didn't think that the first month.
Do you think there's a team that has ever twisted you into the way that you have, or the different levels of belief, the regeneration, like the New York Football Jets?
No, because the Yankees never needed to, because the Yankees are, this century, really last 25, 30 years, always amazing. Different levels of amazing. When they were awful with Stump Merrill, they were so bad, there was nothing to twist I knew it. I'm like Mike Blowers, Bob Guerin, Jim Laird, Melito Perez, Pascual Perez. This team is awful. Matt Noakes, they're going nowhere. So, no, the Yankees never toyed with my mind. Neither did the Knicks. Like, I never look at the Knicks and thought they were something that they weren't.
Right.
The answer is the Jets.
But with the Jets,
they have ruined me.
A lot of times. And the funny thing for me, from my perspective, like I remember when you did the whole unkillable thing. Like,
we are unkillable!
Like that day, I was like, whoa, what have I got myself into?
The funniest part of that video is you looking at me like, good, this guy's out of his freaking mind.
And just a definitive Zach Wilson and
playoffs with Zach. No wonder they're getting rid of me.
Tremendous. No, but I respect it. And that's what I was going to say. This is not coming from fandom. It comes from true belief. Mm-hmm. But just continue to pull out. They continue to pull the rug out from under you. The true belief, Rodgers and Salah and all of it.
I'm a loser. Chew the Evan cut. You're going to, hey, I'm a loser. But here's the thing, and I've said this, and you know this, and this really applies. The reason psychologically, like if somebody was to split me open like a lab rat and examine my brain just based on what you just said about the New York Jets, what they would find is the negativity is overshadowed by the positivity that the Yankees have given me. So, and again, I've said this. Yeah. This is nothing new, but like the Beningo negativity, he's a Mets fan. Right. I think Evan is much less negative than Joe, for sure. But he's a Mets fan. You know, he's a great Mets fan, but he's a Mets fan. So I guess there's almost like this, I don't want to say pseudo-confidence or pseudo-bravado with the Jim bravado because I know my team stinks, but maybe this unwillingness to accept the reality more than others because the Yankees have made me a winner.
Correct. Hard to believe the reality that you root for a loser because you root for a winner your whole life with the Yankees.
Yes, I failed to accept the other aspect of rooting for a loser.
BT Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Let's get back to the calls here. John is calling from Hartford, Connecticut. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, guys. How are we doing? Love the Mets GM talk. Here, a couple of moves here. I'm going to just let you react to them, and I'll listen in.
Okay.
First of all, I agree with Sal. Google will fix the number one starter. The Mets need the number one starter. And then I have a couple of comments on the whole Alfonso and Kyle Schwarber moves. Here it goes. You make a trade, and you got to give a lot, and get Scooble, and you ask for Riley Green, and that fixed left field. Okay? Then you go ahead and get Harrison Bader to play center field, and bat him ninth, and let him run. Okay? Let him go. Mm-hmm. And then you go out and make the bold move, and I like the move. I'm with BT. Get both Schwarber and Alfonso.
Alonso, yeah.
Alonso. And then you can fill in the gaps. But if you did that, BT, you're doing a good job with the lineup. I just gave you Harrison. I gave you Riley Green. You got a number one starter. And those two pickups, two good bats right there. What would the lineup look like to you?
Well, first of all, we can punt that around. And thanks for the call there, John. I mean, with what you're presenting, the Scooble and Riley Green, who's at least the guy had 36 home runs and 100-something RBIs this year.
Why would they trade him?
I don't know. Maybe because they don't want to deal with but I don't think that they would. So let me just answer that directly. I don't think that they would.
They're not just getting rid of everybody. The idea of trading Scooble because they know they can't sign him because he's going to command $400 million in the next offseason. So I don't know why.
Why would they get rid of Green, who's still controllable and cheap and productive? Yeah, I know he strikes out a ton, but he's also 8 OPS every year, 8 change. I mean, he's gonna bang the ball all over the yard. He's good. So they won't do that. But if they did, I think the real question would be, would Mets? I don't want to say ownership, but would Stearns have basically the stomach to get rid of his entire minor league system? I mean, it's one thing to trade for Scooble, which is going to dent it severely. Now you want Riley Green, who's actually really good, and by the way, he doesn't hit 220, it's 260.
They would never. The Tigers would never trade him. The Tigers would be stupid to not trade Scooble. They would be even dumber to trade Riley Green. And for the Mets to get him, you'd have to start with Noel McLean. You probably don't even have enough to get those two, but you'd have to start with McLean. Now you're taking from an area of great need in young, controllable pitching to spend a ton of money on Skubal. And
the prospect you're
giving up all your prospects. Again, Riley Green's you'd like to have him in your outfield, but you're giving all your prospects for those two? No, thank you.
Again, counterpoint. They wouldn't do it, but maybe the justification would be, he made $760,000 last year, which in major leagues is absolutely nothing, and he's not a free agent earliest until 2029. So maybe the Mets could justify sacrificing all these Uber prospects Uber, and then giving Skubal $400 million because, now you got the kid in the left field eventually, and I know arbitration kicks in, but eventually making 1 and then 2 and then 4 and then 6. So, and which is amazing. Great controllability. And maybe you could do it that way rather than giving, I don't know. It's a lot there. I hope we're satisfied with the answer. It's not going to happen.
Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Andrea in Flanders. What's up, Andrea?
Hey, it's Andrea.
Oh, Andrea, I'm sorry. Yes, that's my fault,
Sal.
Andrea.
No worries. Love you guys.
Sal never was good with the ladies' names.
I thought, because yesterday, Andrea, just to explain, I do deeply apologize for that. Yesterday, we had a caller by the name of Andrea, and Hoff wrote it out hyphenetically and then now I'm thinking, I got this. You don't have to spell it out hyphenetically. But anyway, sorry, Andrea. Go ahead.
That's okay. It happens a lot. Sal, I agree with you for the first time in a really long time. I think Suarez is the way to go. The man is a dog. He can pitch in New York. He's come to Citi Field and mowed the Mets down many times. I don't know. How much is it going to cost to get him?
What do you think, Sal? 6 years probably?
That's the question. I'd rather pay Suarez, Andrea, than I would Framber Valdez. Let's see, just pulling up so he's 30. He's 30 years old. I mean, his number, he's solid.
I know.
That's the thing.
He shows up every 5 days. He's a dog.
Yeah, he's around 150 innings. I mean, I honestly, Andrea, I have no idea, and thank you for the call. We appreciate you checking in. I have no idea, and plus in the postseason, that's the biggest key for me. I talk about this with John Harper all the time on Baseball Night in New York. Yeah, he's as good a baseball mind as there is, so I love chopping it up with him. So he likes Suarez too. Postseason pedigree, we agree there. I mean, 150 innings roughly the last couple of years, as opposed to 200 innings, but they just don't make them like they used to. I would assume Suarez, whatever it's going to be, BT, would be less than Valdez. I'd rather pay less for Valdez than more. Less for Suarez than more for Valdez. That's the way that I would sum it up.
I think I probably agree with that. It's funny. Every time I position this, I position it as what I think the Mets are going to do. I don't know that I've ever really said who I think is a better pitcher. I actually think Suarez is slightly better, for the reasons that you just said. I just feel he's been so connected to the Mets. I feel like Valdez is going to wind up in Queens. Now, would I rather have Valdez or Suarez down in Atlanta, whatever high leverage spot you want to, September, October? I think I'd probably prefer Suarez.
Rami, what's the projection there that you had for Suarez?
For Suarez, it's 6'1", 160 I'm looking at.
6'1", 160, that's according to Spotrac.
And 6'1", 160. Valdez is going to be over 200 for sure.
So it says 168 to 200.
Nah, it's going to be more than 168.
Right, so, what do they project for Cease? Do you have that up there? Because
Cease already...
I know, but we're trying to...
project at the time. I'll look that up.
Yeah, they're probably off on that. Usually these projections are a little light. If I could get Suarez for 6'4", 160... I'm signing Suarez and calling it a day. I'm not going 8 for 200.
I know.
If I'm Valdez, I'm trying to get as close to what Cease and Max Fried got.
Sure.
He's one of the top pitchers on the market.
What do you think is the top? Is Suarez, let's do both of them.
Yeah.
Is Valdez a top 15 pitcher in baseball?
Which one did you ask me? Valdez? I don't know, BT. Probably not. I mean, come on. You want me to go? You want me to go over the?
BT, you want me to go? Fake answer
top
that.
15 in baseball.
I don't even know if I know the answer. I don't even know why I asked you that. It was basically a bridge to get to who we like better. Because then I was going to say, what about Suarez? And you know what? I don't know the answer. I've got an opinion. I think that Valdez. I think that stuff wise, they are both maybe slightly nestled inside the top 15, but and if not, slightly outside. It's close.
Cease was projected to get 189, you said, Rami? So he went over that, obviously. So they're going to go over it. So then it comes down to, let's say, would you pay 8 to 20 for Valdez?
Oh, that's steep. We're getting steep now. That's go ahead. That's rich for him, man.
But that's Fried money.
Yeah, but he's not Fried.
Oh, but Dylan Cease got that as well. He's got 7 or 8 years.
7.
7-2-10.
But the same 7-2-10. Okay. I mean,
but I think Cease is better.
Okay. Than
both Suarez and Valdez.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, we're different on how we see Cease.
I had no interest in Dylan Cease myself.
Wow.
Anyway, so would you go 7, let's say 7-2-10 for Valdez?
Yes, I would.
Versus 6-180 for Suarez?
I would probably go splitting hairs. I'd probably go the extra year and the extra few bucks for. I don't know if I really mean that. I don't know. That's a tough call. Good question.
You have other projections from ESPN?
Yeah, from ESPN, they had Cease at 5 years, 145.
Wow. That's why ESPN's baseball coverage stinks.
Oh,
jeez.
God.
Can he be off more than that?
Easy, big fella. Love ESPN.
Love ESPN rankings. Yeah.
Sorry, Hop. Go ahead.
So they have projected for Framber 6 years, 168.
Say that again?
No.
So, who was
Listen to me, damn you.
Try it. Rami was talking to me at the same time. It wasn't me. Go ahead.
6 years, 168 for Framber for their projections.
All right, so it's going to go over that, though. So bottom line is Suarez is going to be a little bit cheaper than Valdez. I'd prefer him anyway, so why not take him at a better value? Either way, Stern's got to pick his guy and go get him.
But that's in line with what you've said for months now. That's consistent.
Meaning,
you like Suarez better than Valdez, so if you like him better than Valdez, you're going to like him a lot more at a cheaper rate.
Correct. Isaac is calling from Long Branch. What's up, Isaac?
Hey, what's up, guys? A couple things I want to go over about the Mets offseason. I don't think there's a chance that Uncle Steve lets Diaz go to L.A. just because there's no way we would have signed Williams if we don't sign back Diaz. I mean, this guy stunk on the Yankees.
He didn't stink.
Come on. He wasn't great. He wasn't what he was in Milwaukee.
That's true.
Yeah, but for 1 year. So what if he's back to what he was with Milwaukee? Would you like him then?
I mean, of course, but still, he clearly can't handle the closer role in New York. Obviously, Yankees, people think it's a little bigger than the Mets, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I think we go out and get Schwarber because I think Uncle Steve is fed up, and I think we go all in and trade for Skubal. That's what I think we do. And re-sign Pete.
Yeah. Anything else, Isaac? And then give the call. Why stop there? Why not just get Bellinger? Bring him on.
Maybe Tucker could be a pinch hitter for you guys.
I mean, come on.
He could be the modern Rusty Staub.
Diaz, Pete, Schwarber, Skubal. Who else did he say? Anybody else in there? Probably more.
Skubal, Pete.
Yeah.
And one of the, right? Was there somebody else?
Here's what I would address first from that call. First of all, stop calling him Uncle Steve. I think King Cohen is much better. But,
Uncle Steve is
anyway,
that's getting corny, Uncle Steve.
I think so.
And I've said it too, but when I hear others say it's getting corny.
I've never said that myself.
No, I know. I said it for a
King
while.
Cohen thing. But whatever. To each their own. You do what you want.
Not as corny as King Cohen, but corny.
I got a couple more days. I think we'll bring out that outfit.
You have to bring out the outfit one day.
No. If he makes I don't even know where it is, actually. It might be home. If he makes a big signing here.
Then I would love for you to enter like Harley Race and
with
the
music
trumpets.
again.
Absolutely.
And maybe we could have some fun with that.
Yes, we can.
Point is, Steve Cohen is not going to, at least I don't anticipate it based on some intel, is not going to interfere with David Stearns. If he's not going to do it with Alonso, why would he do it with Diaz?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And if the Mets already signed Williams for 3 years, $51 million, you do the math. They want Diaz back. I don't think after you sign one guy who could potentially be your closer for $50 million for 3 years, you're going to sign on top of that. I don't think 5 years, $100 million. And maybe Diaz is waiting for that extra year. Mets all for 3. He wants 5. Maybe somebody's going to give him the 4th. Maybe it'll be the Mets. Maybe it won't. But I would not be surprised at this point, based on some of the way that the Mets are operating, if they stay true to where they're standing here, discipline, drawing a line in the sand with both Diaz and Alonso.
Yeah, I thought the caller had it backwards. I really did, at least that aspect of the call when he said that, the Mets wrapped up Devin Williams, which means, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but you know the premise that now that basically it's going to ensure that he's back in terms of Diaz. I think it's the opposite. I think it's great. Now, I'm not saying that he can't, kind of like you, but I think it's like, hey, we're not paying a setup guy an 8th inning arm almost $20 million a year. And what planet is that financially smart? So I think, and I could be completely wrong, obviously, I think it's the exact opposite. I think that they secured that knowing that Diaz will be gone, and then they'll allocate the money elsewhere, starters, whether it's Bellinger, whether it's Pete, whether it's whatever.
Maybe not knowing that he's gone, but saying all along before the Williams signing, here's our line, here's our line, here's our line. Diaz doesn't like the line. There is no communication. There isn't any what am I looking for? Ben? There isn't any. Who the hell cares? There isn't any budging, I think was the word I was looking for. Is that the right word? Isn't any budging?
My mind is mush.
Isn't any budging from the Mets side of it? So when they do that with Diaz, and they're saying we want 3, he's saying he wants 5, then they say, okay, well, we're going to go get Williams. And now this should show you we're not budging on our deal. And if you don't like it, we have a guy in place.
Yeah.
If you want to come back, we want you back.
Yeah.
We'll love to have you back.
Yeah.
Here's what we want you back
That's
at.
probably a better way to put it. Maybe I was a little bit too absolute as I framed it, but you talk about leverage in negotiations, and that would be massive advantage Mets. Hey, we want you back, but we got somebody if you don't want to come back, so your call.
BT and Sal. Now, it's not going to go over well with the fans, but it doesn't mean the Mets can't win games. BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls 888-808-1019.
All right, operating engineers, Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move, whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium. They build, a very upbeat riff right there, boy, Rom. They build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure that we all rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC representing these signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I need to see a lot more before I'm ready to say, yes, this kid's going to be the next Jackson Dart or Drake May.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, we're celebrating this holiday season with our $155,000 Slay the Road drawing, including your chance to win a new Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash. Earn entries all month long, then be here on January 1st between 12 and 3 p.m. when one winner will be drawn every hour to win up to $20,000 cash. At 4 p.m., one lucky winner will win a Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Alcaraz, Anisimova, Pegula, and Tiafoe. The inaugural A Racket at the Rock takes center court at Prudential Center Sunday, December 7th. Featured are some of the game's biggest stars. Amanda Anisimova takes on Jessica Pegula, and Frances Tiafoe battles 6-time Grand Slam champion Carlos Alcaraz. A Racket at the Rock, Sunday, December 7th. Get more info and buy tickets at cruisecenter.com/tennis.
We're here with attorney Mark Miner of the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnerman, and Miner. Mark, we've all seen those cracked and uneven sidewalks. Who is responsible for such conditions?
Well, property owners are required to maintain their property in a safe condition, and that includes removing hazards from their walkways, parking lots, and driveways. In New York City and many other places, property owners are also required to keep the sidewalk in front of their property in good repair.
Well, what should someone do if they're injured in a trip and fall accident?
If you call us at 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation, we will inform you of your rights. The sooner you call, the better. Early investigation is often the key to obtaining compensation.
Is the property owner always responsible for the condition of the sidewalk?
Not always. That is why it is so important to speak with an experienced attorney. The city, utility company, transit authority, or someone else may be at fault.
If you've been injured in an accident, call the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Minor at 1-800-LAW-LINE. That number again is 1-800-LAW-LINE.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit their Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Brandon Tierney, Salicata back on The Fan on this Football Friday. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We'll power up, give you our power rankings, Week 14 in the NFL, and a perfect parlay picks segment. You are on a heater, my friend. Took a couple years, but two parlays in a row, back-to-back weeks. Of all seasons, too. It's the one that you were like, man, forget it. I don't have it. I'm tapping out. I'm giving up. Now, all of a sudden, I told you, I've been trying to encourage you. 2 straight weeks. You're still right in there. Point scoring system. And now you hit 2 parlays in a row. You're back right at the top with half.
Well, it's the more mature me. That's what's happened. That's basically, that's my approach on the golf course. Give me another gummy, buddy. Get a 9 on that hole. Give me another sip of something. And then when you don't care about it, you start doing well. So I stopped caring about the picks, and I'm starting to kick your ass again.
And even the two of us maturing together as a show, because I do remember early on with the Mets and Yankees stuff, some of that we did. We took it very personally.
We did take it very personally. That's true.
I remember one time I sent you a nasty text in the beginning.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do. I remember that. I think it was opening day. I think it was a play with Soto throwing somebody out at the plate from right field in Houston.
It was opening day.
I remember that.
Because I don't remember what we had an argument about on the air.
Geez, something stupid.
It was funny, too, because then we used to tell ourselves, we were going home and telling our wives the same thing. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Or like, we each telling our wives the same thing. But yeah, we were fighting about something dumb opening day.
I remember that.
The Yankees were down big. That's what happened. They got down early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely did. Cortez got lit up. Nestor had a bad start.
Yeah.
That's when Soto threw somebody out at the plate. He actually may have been safe, but they called him out.
And I might have been like chirping on Twitter.
Yes.
And then you punched back nicely.
Yes. And then I parachuted in on social media. But I think that may have been the one.
What's wrong with us, dude?
Now, that's a couple of opening days ago. That may have been really the worst one. Like
with you and I, you're saying? And it wasn't even.
No. It's not like we were like, I can't work with this guy. We're going to throw down in the street like Carlin and Gio almost did years ago, allegedly.
But it was before we really started to have a bond as a show.
Let me just listen. Yeah. We'll have other shows. I'll say one thing though.
Yeah.
It took us a little bit to find our stride. It did. You're a strong personality.
Yeah.
I'm a strong personality. You were used to working by yourself. I was used to working with Tiki, who is the complete opposite of you in terms of personality.
Right.
Once we found the stride, the show's been really good.
Yeah,
I've had a blast.
We've had a lot of fun. Certainly the last, I'd say year, I don't know, 6 months, but the whole thing. We don't need to get into it. But anyway,
But it's true. It doesn't happen overnight, chemistry.
Oh, it takes a while.
I know.
Matter of fact, I heard a couple of things I've learned from Carton over the years.
Okay.
One was...
Not to get too comfortable because he's coming back?
One.
I learned that.
One was don't ever come back from a segment. And he didn't say this to me directly. I just listened to him and absorbed that.
Okay.
Don't ever come back from a segment and just go right to the calls.
I never do that. Yeah, I agree with that. That's lazy radio.
Correct.
Welcome back on the Fan. The number, hey, Joe's in Manhattan. No, you got to give somebody a reason to call.
The other one, and I don't know if this was in print or I heard him say it, but for some reason I learned this from him, is that a show takes a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
It might have been one of the times where he came back. I forget the thing, but
it's true. He's right. He's great at radio, so those instincts are phenomenal.
And I've never had.
They're on point.
I've never had that opportunity before. Like you said, part-time. Then you do the overnight show. It's a different thing. So now it's like, okay, different partner, different. There's all sorts of different elements.
Yeah, different pressure. You didn't have a lot of pressure overnight.
All sorts of. Correct.
You came here, you had some different pressure. Middays different.
There's a sales element. There's a million different things going on that I'm trying to learn.
Yes,
and that's a part of, and not only learning your partner and how you're going to work together and what you can give and take. It takes time, and it took us at least a year to really start to.
It did, and I'll tell you something else too. Like I think and I said this to you so early, and you've actually said this publicly before, and not that you shot it down, but me being a little bit older, having had partners before, I thought it was kind of incumbent upon me to do this, and I believed it.
Yeah.
I said we've got to learn to trust each other. Once we know we can trust each other, then I know you can act like a lunatic, and I'm not going to take it personally, and vice versa. And when I said that to you, I texted that to you, and then you came over for the barbecue. Yeah. And not that you were like, whatever, that makes no sense.
I was at that time. Like,
well, you didn't feel it to the depth that I believed it. But then I think you learned to understand that was true.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the beginning, I got to be honest with you, I was happy to get off the overnight, and I'm like, I just want to talk sports. Like, don't get in my way. I'm going to give strong opinion. You're going to give strong opinion. We both know sports. That was the mindset, not realizing that there does need to be some kind of bond, which obviously, it happens over time, and we feel pretty good about where we're at with that. BT and Sal on the Fan. Tears, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Pat is on Long Island. What's up, Pat?
Patrick.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How are you?
Look, BT, I heard you saying it before. The Jets are laying a good groundwork right now.
Yeah.
Couple good receivers. Special teams looks good.
Tight end.
Stud.
Yeah.
Pretty tall tight end room.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I want to win some games here, I don't want to... I don't want to roll over in the next season winning 4 or 5 games, whatever. I want to win 6 games. Let's beat Miami. Let's beat the Saints. And then our Super Bowl is going to be December 28th at home against New England. We can beat them at home. I believe it. I'm going there with a big crowd.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's the Super Bowl's a bit much, Patty, but
that's our Super Bowl. We got to beat New England December 28th in MetLife.
Well, what's crazy? Listen, it would be awesome. There's a chance I'll be there as well. There's a chance I'm there this weekend with Miami. The only
You're going to go?
I might. Now, the problem is I like going with the family at this point. I used to go with my buddies forever. I told you that. I used to have season tickets. But Colt's got, I think he's got travel basketball practice. And you know me, you're not missing practice to go. You go to practice. And I think he's got a birthday party. My daughter's got, there's just too many things going on with the kids that I'm not going to pull them out of responsibility. You sign up for something, you do it.
Right, yeah.
And, and so they can't come. And, we just went to the Cowboys game as a family, my wife
in
Texas.
A lot of football games for you.
Yeah.
You did the Browns game you went to?
We went to the Browns game with my in-laws. Yeah. It was a surprise, a rainy day at MetLife. I think, though, that the difference this year is that there is, now I don't know if it's fully justified, nor do I know if it will be rewarded downstream. I don't know. It's a guess, man. I don't know. But there is legitimate, not like contrived fake hope. There's at least a little evidence that they may have gotten the head coaching hire right. And I think there's absolutely more evidence that they got the GM hire right. So you try to win a couple of games, get some self-respect, and let's go.
I would love to see it. I'd love to see them finish strong, just play sound, smart, disciplined football, let the other team beat themselves, capitalize on some mistakes if you could do that. You mentioned it, the schedule is kind of soft. I mean, home against the Dolphins should be a win. At Jacksonville, not easy.
No, that's going to be a tough one.
At New, I don't think Jacksonville's as good as their record says, but still, for the Jets, that's going to be a tough one. Hey, but you know what? Win a tough game. And then maybe close out the season strong. I do believe that there could be momentum. We went over this with the Falcons record in 97. I believe there could be momentum at the end of the season, especially when you're talking about year one of a rebuild with all the picks. Hey, man, when was the last time you felt good at the end of a Jets season?
I honestly can't remember.
Right, me neither. Now, I'm sure there were a few, but think about the last
Maybe
time.
the last good rec season.
Think about the last time you felt good about the end of a season, not just you, but Jet fans in general. When was the last time you felt good about the end of the season? That can happen this year.
True. That's good.
Regardless of how many wins, but just feeling, you hope to get a couple and you feel good about, you know what, we're headed in the right direction for once.
Listen, O-line, tight end, receiver 1, receiver 2, Glenn, Muji. You can talk about a million things. Let me really boil it down to this. The building, forget about it from the fan perspective. The Jets building in Florham Park has been energized, and that's a good thing. There's energy in there now.
BT and Sal on the Fan, WFAN NFL football, powered by Verizon. Get your local Verizon store today. You want more calls here or break? Okay, let's go back to a call. Dominic is calling from Central Park. What's up, Dominic?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Big fan. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
I got a question for both of you about the Jets drafting a quarterback coming up. I know I've heard it a couple times, and that's what kind of sparked the question for me. And I agree with it of kind of maybe punting if on the quarterback draft this year, if you maybe not in a position to draft one without trading up, or if they don't love the crops of quarterbacks, or both. But I feel like that's like the fan perspective a little bit, wanting what's best for the Jets. And I want to look at it from Glenn and Muji's perspective. And we've seen a lot of this lately where the coach and GM are no longer safe just because they draft the guy. And we saw with the Bears, the Pats, Brian Daboll didn't even make it a full season with Dart. Do you think there's going to be pressure on them to find that quarterback this year when you consider that clock is ticking? You've already got another losing season in the bag. That drought, that playoff drought, just tacked on another year.
Yep.
If you don't get your guy next year, you might be, not saying definitely, but you might be in that same spot next year. And then the following year, now you have a young quarterback where, there's usually bumps in the road with a young quarterback. You could be looking at 3 more years.
And that would bring it up, too, as I was following your timeline, 2028 with the young quarterback getting some real run. Okay. I can't think about 2028, 2026 and what matters, and a little bit of 2027. It's a good question, Dom. Thank you for the call. I don't think that there will be any pressure from Woody. I think Woody's going to finally lay out. I think Woody finally gets it. I hope, I pray. And he wised up a little bit, and he's just going to stay invisible. And I think that when you get some equity early on, which I think Muji has from some of the trades he's made, I think that's going to give even more ammunition to Woody himself to let them do the job. So, because now, if they were to get mopped like 5 straight games here, which I don't think they will, but if they go 0-5 and they just get drilled, it does take away some of the feel good that we have right now. So I think you still want to win a game or two, Saints, Dolphins, I get it, and be competitive.
At least one of those two.
Yes, and be a little competitive with maybe a Buffalo or a Pats or both. And if you are, with all the draft equity and all the options, whether it's trades, whatever it might be, I think Woody's going to let these men operate.
The number one thing I would not do if I'm the Jets is force the issue with a quarterback.
Oh, God, you can't do it, man.
You can't do it. I'm not saying don't take one.
Yep.
If you love one, take them. Trade up to get it. Take whatever you need to do. If you love it, do not, and I don't think Muji will do this.
Nope.
Do not take one just because you don't have one and you need one. That to me would be a huge mistake. Don't go chasing it. Now, in year 3, it's a different story. But they're not just sitting there thinking right now, well, nobody's there this year that we love. This is a plan. They're mapping it out. Do we love these guys? Do we like next year's draft? What's the crop of quarterbacks looking like? Who's going to be available via trade?
Yep.
They're going through all these options. It's not just they know they need a quarterback, and they're going through the timeline of it and all the options.
I tell you one other option that it's hard to really quantify now, but this matters, right? Because this is doing your due diligence. It's not like you wake up and let's say the Jets don't draft the quarterback in 2026. It's not like, it's the winter. It's getting ready for 2027 draft. Who do we like? I mean, this thing is laid out, much like free agents and guys that are in the building that you may or may not want to sign. This is all plotted out for years, especially if you're a good franchise, which the Jets aren't yet. But I say that because I do think that the Muji element, Sal, it might be the most exciting element of the Jets to me. It really might. Like, this guy seems to be shrewd and aggressive.
Would you feel that way if not for the Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner trade?
Yes, not nearly as much energy on more like a base hit rather than like a double or a triple, which is what I'm kind of feeling now.
For me, like, okay, let's see what he could do. Once he made those moves, I'm like,
yeah,
this guy's not messing around. He's got a plan.
He's aggressive. He's a forward thinker. He's bold. He's obviously smart. Yeah, I mean, without the Q and the Gardner trade, the energy wouldn't quite be so high, but I would still be saying he found the punter. He made some low-level trades, Briggs and obviously some other pieces. He found you... He drafted a tight end. I think Mason Taylor's going to be pretty good. So in 1 year, they addressed a position that they never have. But no, when you make trades like that, it tells me you know the deal. You're pretty good.
BT and Sal on the Fan, the ever-changing power up. We'll try that again. Week 14 in the NFL with the power rankings when we come back.
You should have seen I was just rolling my eyes.
YouTube.
That's true, too. Yeah, whatever. All right, we'll do it, and we'll give you a good one coming up. Hey, FanDuel Friday's cranking up the NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern. FanDuel's dropping a limited-time specials to get you in the zone, boost bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. Now, it's not just another promo. It's your weekly pregame NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/PT and grab your reward before the clock expires. That's FanDuel.com/PT. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. Of course, FanDuel's the official sportsbook of the Fan, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards non-withdrawable. Restrictions to apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. You can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Penn State's coaching search has dragged past 50 days, and now the spotlight's on Iowa State's Matt Campbell, the Cyclones' all-time wins leader. But after missing on Kalani Sitake and Jeff Brom, the real question is unavoidable. Why is this job so hard to fill? Is it expectations, fit? Whatever the reason, Penn State keeps swinging, and the longer this search lasts, the louder that question gets. I'm Maggie Gray.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric. And discover the comfort of this spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
You know that moment, the gift is opened, and boom, you just won the holidays. That's what happens when it comes from H.L. Gross Jewelers in Garden City. Diamond studs, tennis bracelets, straight line necklaces, diamond bands. Whatever's on their wish list, H.L. Gross has it, and it'll shine brighter under the tree than anything else you'll buy this season. Plus, check out an incredible lineup of certified new and pre-owned Swiss watches. Open 7 days a week through Christmas. H.L. Gross Jewelers in Garden City at hlgross.com. This year, give the gift that scores.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Once upon a time, Dunkin' made the perfect donut. And from its center came something even better. Dunkin' Munchkins. Tiny bits of joy made from the dough they scooped right out of the middle. This holiday season, Dunkin' Munchkins remind us that even the smallest of things can mean the most. Like laughing with friends or enjoying the last munchkin in the box. So grab a box of 3, 5, 25, or 50. Share them, gift them, or keep them all for yourself. We won't tell. Dunkin' Munchkins. Proof that something so small can be the best bite of all. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Gotham City football is coming. Be at MetLife Stadium for Week 14 as the New York Jets face the Miami Dolphins for the team's first ever rivalries game on Sunday, December 7th at 1 p.m., presented by Avery Dennison. Fans in attendance will receive a Rivalries rally towel while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now it's time to power up with BT and Sal.
Power Up brought to you by Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. You know, BT, we do this every week, and we look at the standings, and we come up with these teams, and every week, the results going into the week, we picked the different teams, and the results are like, man, how did we get it so wrong? Not that we're trying to predict the exact 5 teams, but it's been so hard this year with the up and down nature, the inconsistent nature, even with the top teams amongst the NFL. And I do like the parity. We had this conversation where, you know, maybe you don't love the parity as much as I do, but that speaks to when you're trying to do these power rankings, who do you think the best teams are? For me, finally, this week, I at least, and I've said this before, but I finally feel like I got the best 5 teams in football on my list. I'm not looking at the records. I'm not looking at the standings. Just based on 13 weeks of football watching, who my 5 best teams are. You want me to start us off? Number 5 here?
Let's go. Absolutely.
Number 5, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Now, you had them on your list early in the season. There was a down point where we both probably had them off quite a bit. I'm back on the Pack. I don't believe in the Bears. And I wanted to believe in the Lions. I believe that they were one of the best teams, even with their performance last night. The Packers beat them twice, and they beat them relatively easily on Thanksgiving. So Green Bay's going in the right direction. They have the quarterback in place. They have the coach. They were supposed to be one of the top teams before the year. I think they could end up on top and will end up on top of that NFC North when all's said and done. Give me the Packers at number 5.
Oh, my goodness. This is really, I think this is the hardest thing we've done all year. I mean, every week it's a complete overhaul here. Let me just end the suspense. No Bills, no Ravens, no Jaguars, no Colts, no Philly. They're not on my team.
Agreed.
Oh, wow.
Same.
Okay. Number 5 for me, I got to give a little love to the Bears. Won 5 straight. I mean, you know, we get wrapped up in the aesthetics of how some of these wins look, and we grade. And by the way, even competitive losses. Oh, that was a good loss. This team's did you win or did you lose? I mean, that's really the bottom line, and we kind of lose sight of that. This team, it wasn't pretty enough. It wasn't convincing enough. I mean, Chicago is 9-3, and they got 5 games to go. I mean, they're 5-2 on the road, so it's not like they need Chicago to flourish. I mean, they won 5 straight. I know they give up a lot of points, but they score a lot. I got Chicago, number 5.
All right, I respect it. I just don't believe in Caleb Williams. We'll see. I feel like they're winning with smoke and mirrors to a certain extent. And this weekend, it's going to be the Packers versus the Bears, one of the more intriguing matchups on the Week 14 slate. Number 4, I'm going with the team I've been backing for a while. It's the Niners. I just think the Niners are one of the best teams in football. Now, you can rank them however you want. You can keep them out. I believe they are also going in the right direction. They've been consistent, and even being banged up without their quarterback, other injuries throughout the course of the year, still 9-4. They've had some impressive wins. I love Kyle Shanahan and the structure of his offense. Look, everybody talks about the Rams and Seahawks and how good they are, and they are good. Niners right there with them at 9-4, just a half game back. So give me the San Francisco 49ers, the team I picked to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC a few weeks back. Give me the Niners at number 4.
And I think you had them playing your Broncos, where I'm sure they will be prominently listed for you here. I got Denver. I got a little love for Denver here at this point. I got them at 4, yeah. So
that's the first time they made the...
No, they made it one other time. I think that would have been last week. Yeah, I think it was. Like, I remember, I just didn't want to cave to you. That's really. I told you it was just a protest. I'm like, I can't give this guy the Denver Broncos.
It becomes such a thing, right? I'm so high on the Broncos. I'm not caving, right?
I wasn't going to buy him. Okay, now I don't love Bo Nix, so it wasn't fully. I can't let Sal have his way, but I just wasn't fully believing, and I'm not fully believing in them. But I mean, I got to show them some respect here. They're 10-2. What are we going to be stupid here? And if you look at this, is my reservation. But again, this kind of grades into what I just said about you're grading the wins, the losses. Like, they have beaten a lot of bad teams. You go back to the middle of October, they beat the Jets when the Jets didn't have their act together. I don't want to overstate that, but the Jets were a mess at that point. They beat the Giants. They beat the Raiders, and they only scored 10 points against the Raiders. You know, they beat the Commanders, recently. That was overtime without Jaden Daniels. They're 10-2. They're good. I'm not fully convinced at all, but they are top 5.
I have them number 3 for me. I think
dropped them a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the fair.
Oh, okay.
I was probably overrating them a little bit. I mean, I love their defense. I love the head coach. But just watching them, it's the same stuff. The other teams so far, I feel like the Packers and Niners are on the right ascent. The Broncos have been where they're at.
A little stagnant?
Well, for just a while.
out,
they've been doing the same. Now it's been successful, but they've been doing the same thing all year long, playing these tight games, even beating the Commanders. It shouldn't have taken all that. Now, they've won 9 in a row, so they're as hot as anybody else in the NFL, and I think they're very good, but I do believe the quarterback is ultimately going to hold them back a little bit, whether it's losing the Super Bowl, whether it might be getting caught in the AFC, whatever it may. I mean, look, 3 is not bad. It's just, I think I was probably, because of my love for them, like you were protesting against me holding them out, and I was going the other way. Like, I like them so much. I was overrating them.
Digging in.
Yeah. So I have them at where I think they belong at number 3.
At number 3. Okay, they're an interesting team. The thing that worries me about them, like if this was Tom Brady's Pats, maybe even these Pats, but no, Tom Brady's Pats, or even say Josh Allen and the Bills, or a healthy Ravens team with Lamar. Like, there's certain teams that win 9 straight games that you don't need to see them lose a game to kind of see their character. I almost kind of want to see what happens when Denver loses. Like, do they lose 2 out of 3?
Yeah.
Or do they come back and bounce back right? I'm not sure. That's why I've got some reservations. I don't have many reservations about Seattle at this point. So Seattle for me is number 3. Niners are not on my list here.
Okay.
I respect them. I want to see maybe another week. I know they're getting healthy. I get that. Purdy's first game back was awful. Second game back better, whatever. Seattle, they won a couple of straight, and their defense, they've given up 217 points, which is absolutely disgusting in a good way. They're battle tested. Listen, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I like their quarterback. I don't love them. But I think at this point, with the defense and with the recent success, and they've been pretty consistent. I think to not have them in my top 3, I can't justify it based on all the other storylines around the NFL. So I got them number 3.
I could see that. I think it was either the Seahawks or the Niners. I'm choosing Niners long-term because I don't trust the quarterback. You said no Bills on your list, right?
I don't have the Bills.
Me neither, and that might be the one regret that I have here long-term as I just think about it.
Yeah.
You also don't have the Packers?
I don't have the Packers.
So who'd you have on again? Your 5?
The Bears were 5. So I went Bears over Bears, Denver, Seattle.
So Bears, Seahawks, you had. I have Packers,
Niners.
and Niners.
Yep.
Okay, so that's our 2 different right there. Number 2 for me is going to be the Rams. Even with the loss, I know they got beat by the Panthers. I'm not overreacting to that. They're one of the most sound, talented teams in the NFL. We've gone over the reasons why for several weeks. So I wouldn't. This shows you I'm not letting the result of 1 week impact where I believe the Rams rank amongst the best in the NFL. I have them at number 2.
I think this is going to be a little repetitive here. I've got the Rams number 2 as well. I mean, I'm not going to be that deterred. Now, that is a bit of a jarring loss there. If you are standing on top of the mountain, and we've been doing it for a little bit, saying, hey, the Rams, definitively the best team in the NFL, you don't really want to have Bryce Young throw 3 incredible touchdowns against you for a young player who hasn't really shown a ton. But no, my confidence is not that shattered. Weird loss, yeah, but I think easily explainable and, more importantly, correctable. They'll get back on track. I got the Rams, too.
So we agree
Pats
on the
won.
Pats are... I mean,
I got to give it to them.
I mean, they obliterated the Giants. As impressive as performance as you could possibly have. 11-2, 10 straight wins. They got the coach. They got the quarterback. They do everything well. They play hard. They're physical. The New England Patriots, here we are without Belichick or Brady, the best team in the NFL.
They are. I mean, do you realize their point differential is plus 110?
Yeah.
Plus 110.
Is that the best in the league?
I don't know if it's the best. It's got to be top 2.
No, it is not the best in the league. Seahawks plus 133.
Yep.
Rams plus 124. And then they are third. Fourth would be the Colts at plus 108.
And the Colts are going in the wrong direction, seemingly, with a couple of losses, some injuries, Daniel Jones. You know, it's interesting because, the Patriots, who are both of our number 1, one of the things, and I really thought, and this is how I look at a coach. That's why, man, I wanted the Jets to get Vrabel more than anybody. Glenn was number 2, but I wanted Vrabel. I was very adamant about that. I mean, this man won 11 games, 12 games, and 11 games in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Now, I think Ryan Tannehill maybe was an easy punching bag, and maybe people took it too far because he was a good athlete, didn't really turn the ball over. He was okay.
They never threw it with him.
That's true. Yeah, Derrick Henry, why would you? Yeah. But when you win, basically 33, 34 games over a 3-game span, as he did in 2020, 2021, and then again in 2020, whatever. It did very well with the Tennessee Titans. I look at now the quarterback that they do have, and I'm like, this might be his Brady.
Right.
Drake May is phenomenal. So what he did in Tennessee with Tannehill, it is very believable. What he's doing here is very real.
BT and Sal on the Fan. 1 more hour to play with. We'll get back to your calls on the other side. Free agency, football. Also have a perfect parlay pick segment, Week 14, coming up as well.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
When you're 0-7, is there a right direction? Like, that's what I'm so tired of both of these teams. Is there even a right direction at 0-7? I don't know.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-830-4914. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived during the Holiday Safe Lease Sales Event. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 Core all-wheel drive $454 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $52,545. Then 1286218. Loaner vehicle 4,814 miles, $3,800 down payment, tax title registration fees extra, 0 security deposit, ends 1/2/26.
Hey everyone, this is Boomer Esiason, and I'm here to tell you all about United Healthcare and their Oxford products. They've served me well for 41 years, and I've been very happy with the coverage that I've received. In fact, they're not only my insurance carrier, United Healthcare also supports my foundation in our quest to find a cure for cystic fibrosis. So when you play pro football, you learn pretty fast that you can't win without teammates you can rely on. The same is true for your health plan. And that's why Oxford plans from United Healthcare include all kinds of benefits for your employees, like $0 deductible options, virtual care with $0 copays, and the ability to earn up to $700 a year just for taking healthy actions. Care for your employees and savings for you? You'll get that too. Check out Oxford now with more ways to help your employees and bottom line stay healthier. Contact your broker or visit uhc.com/Oxford to learn more. Oxford insurance products are underwritten by Oxford Health Insurance Incorporated.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1:03. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Make your holidays memorable in a Lexus from Ray Cattina. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Still waiting on Jackson Dart's plans for his free weekend, but now we have Jameis Winston serving as a guest analyst on Fox Sunday as Russell Wilson does the same thing on CBS. On the field, rookie Brady Cook will be the Jets' backup QB Sunday against the Dolphins. Justin Fields reported knee soreness Wednesday, tried to practice yesterday, and is now being ruled out for this weekend. Other NFL news, Commanders QB Jaden Daniels returns this weekend from his dislocated elbow. Lions safety Brian Branch tore his Achilles in last night's win over the Cowboys. Dallas wideout C.D. Lamb now dealing with a concussion. The Knicks have the Jazz at the Garden at 7:30. Utah won in Brooklyn last night, and the Devils host the Golden Knights at 7. Fan weather is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It's 28 degrees, overcast in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
Show on the Fan presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Football Giants. Matter of fact, Cadillac helped me out Sunday. Might be going to the Ranger game.
Look at you.
Joe Fish offering up some. He heard us talking about it. Joe Fish from Cadillac,
Yeah, of course.
Jamie's father.
Yeah, love him. I love her. I don't know him as well. She's great. I know you know him.
Yeah, they are both tremendous. They've been very good to us, so we appreciate them.
Yep.
He heard us talking about, I was saying, well, we got no hookups at the Garden. And he's like, hey, anytime you need little Rangers or something, let me know. And
does he need any salespeople at Cadillac? You going to are you bringing Joey?
I asked my brother-in-law if he wants to bring Joey so far. So I really just found this out. So we'll see Sunday night.
Question, though.
Yeah.
So I saw a great gesture.
Yeah.
I feel like Joey's a little confused. Maybe like you with your Islander stuff as well, with Ledecky. So last week, and we both love him, LaGreca, great guy.
Yes. Man, it was
Donnie's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Donnie Pucks, I've known Donnie forever. Same with you. Me, I actually worked with him, but you're getting to know him.
I know him.
Well, you know what I mean.
But I don't even think I've met him before in person. And I was knowing I was going to the Devils game, taking Joey. I'm sure you get to that in a second.
Yep.
I was hoping to run into Don.
And he came down to see you.
Yes, he was right there.
He came to see you.
Yeah, well, I didn't see him.
I know, it's a class
move,
is what I'm saying.
Yes, he was great. We had a great conversation. It was fun.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm watching Devils games, but I will on occasion to pop in. And he sounds great. I'm so happy for him because that's always been his first love. So Donnie's A+ in my book, always has been. But I'm a little worried about your nephew here in the sense, not that is he a good player or a good student or a tough kid. I think he's doing very well in all that regard. but I see him at the Devils game with Donnie. I see him now. He's going to the Rangers game because Cadillac's going to hook you up.
Maybe.
Who's his team? Who's he rooting for?
No, he is a Rangers fan.
You sure?
Yeah, so here's the story behind that. Last year for Christmas, he asked me for a Hughes jersey. What the hell's his name?
Yeah. Hughes.
Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes. I was thinking Luke Hughes.
I remember you telling me, and rightfully a little conflicted.
Well, I mean, I didn't really want to get him a Devils jersey,
I don't blame
but he's a young hockey player. He loves the sport. He loves McDavid.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm a great uncle. Uncle Sal get you the jersey for Christmas. Get him a little Jack Hughes jersey. And then we wanted to take him to his first Devils game. Devils are nice. They had us out there. It really is a great, it's a half hour from where we live. It's phenomenal.
I like the arena. I go there a lot. It's good.
It couldn't be a better setting. So it was fun to go there. But while we're there, and I told him, be respectful. Devils, you give us these tickets, whatever you wear your Devils jersey.
Yeah.
But he was rooting. He does not like the Devils. And Hughes was hurt.
I know.
He was rooting for Trevor Zegras, who
on the
plays,
other team,
because he plays for the Flyers. But Zegras is the son of the guy. My nephew goes to some hockey school. I forget the name of it. I don't even know if they would want it out of you.
Like training and stuff?
It's some hockey. No, it's like a school.
Oh, that's right, because he's homeschooled, right? So it's the school and the sports stuff.
This is the school.
Yeah.
He goes to this school, but they do hockey there as well.
That's pretty common now.
It's a school owned by Zegras' father, I believe.
So he's not rooting for the Flyers. He's rooting for somebody he actually knows and sees often.
I told him because just rooting for the Flyers is just as bad as rooting for the Devils.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Correct. I hate the Flyers. I hate the Flyers more than I do the Devils.
Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, Eagles.
Devils are at least nice to us. We're Jersey now. We're in the area. Like, at least you could justify that. But he was rooting for Zegras when we went, and he just wouldn't allow himself to root for the Devils. So he can wear the jersey, much like Uncle Sal wear the Islander jersey, but ultimately we're Rangers fans.
I think I'm going to have to become a Devils fan at some point for life. And you know how I am with hockey, whatever. I was a little bit of an Islanders fan growing up in the street, Trottier, Bossy. I was the only Islander. I think I was trying to be different, whatever.
But you're Jersey now.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I can't give names here, but somebody on our side is in a serious relationship with one of the Devil stars.
What do you mean on our side?
Of our family.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think they're going to get married.
What?
Yeah. So, and Colt's
What's
been
his
doing.
name?
I'm not going to tell you that.
You can't tell me the player?
I'll tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
So, because if they break up, I just don't want to, whatever. But they're very strong. So I would imagine that we're going to be a Devils family move. My son already likes the Devils. He's been to a couple games. Rangers mean nothing to him because he's in Jersey. He's not born in Brooklyn like me. He's born in New Jersey.
Jersey guy. Look
Absolutely.
You're going to marry into, or you're not going to marry into, but
no. Families looks no engagement yet, but they're very serious.
BT and Sal on the Fan. 888-808-1019. Perfect parlay pick segment coming up in a little bit. Craig is calling from Matawan. What's up, Craig?
Hey guys, like the show. Well, one thing, I'm a little confused. The whole point in sports is to win a championship, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why would you want Fried, whose career postseason ERA is 5.5, let me finish,
I'm not saying
as opposed to Valdez, whose career postseason is 3.5, and Suarez in 11 starts is 1.46, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Why having a pitcher that's good during the season and can't deliver in the postseason is like having a basketball player that can't shoot free throws at the free throw line.
No, Craig. It's not, Craig. Listen, I love analogies. I just happen to think that's a poor one. No disrespect. I'm going to tell you why, though. Because even if you have starting pitching that I got you, that gets lit up in October, but they're generally very effective from April through late September, at least it gives you a chance to get to the playoffs.
I understand that, but you're talking about a pitcher. Say you have 4 starting pitchers. Okay, he's pitching a fourth of the games, a quarter of the games, whatever the case might be.
Well,
if you have a lineup like the Yankees, or if you're constantly in the postseason like the Yankees, or I can't say the Mets, but the Yankees,
the perennials,
teams, you're going to get to the postseason. I'll throw Clayton Kershaw in that mix. Wonderful regular season pitcher. When it comes to the postseason, what a good year he had. Madison Bumgarner, not the best regular season pitcher, but when it came down to the postseason, the man was unbeatable.
Right, but so Craig, what is your point though? That you want Suarez over Valdez?
No, I would take either one of them over Fried.
Oh.
And I'm not even a Yankee fan. I'm just saying you're splitting hairs.
But
It's
Fried's
about
better,
money.
though. But and thank you for the call, Craig. I understand your point. I want Suarez over Valdez more because he's better in the postseason. That's why I like Suarez more. I'd rather have Max Fried than both of those guys. And I understand that there were some postseason struggles. I think that could happen with a lot of guys. Who knows what the reasons for those are? That's why I would not invest heavily in starting pitching unless it's the top guy. Because any of these other guys can be, who knows? If you have one bad game, it could ruin an entire series, as we saw with the Yankees.
I mean, I also think that it's convenient to ignore the stumbles of some of the all-time pitchers in October. I mean,
Doc in 86.
That's where I was going.
Oh, I know it was your wheelhouse. I stole that one from you. I'm sorry.
You did. That's all my ammo, too.
Who's next?
No, with that one. I don't know. Andy Pettitte got lit up in Game 1 of the World Series. Andrew Jones took him deep twice. I mentioned that yesterday.
Clayton Kershaw is the call reference.
Obviously, Kershaw.
Yeah.
Pedro wasn't putting up zeros all those years against the Yankees. That's for sure.
Right. That's the thing.
Yankees dented him a little bit.
The aces have to be perfect in the postseason, which is harder because it's against the best line. But that's the point. In the regular season, they could give you, well, they used to give you 8 scoreless innings.
I know.
In the postseason, it's a little bit more difficult to do that.
Name an all-time, even if post 1980, just any random star. So not random, but any ace. Just name one.
In
baseball.
Post 1980?
No, so after
Randy
80,
Johnson.
That's funny. I was thinking about Randy Johnson. All right, so Randy Johnson.
Greg Maddux. I mean, he had a rough postseason.
That's a pretty good one, too.
For sure.
That's a good call with Maddux. Let's see. Randy Johnson.
I thought he did.
Now, this could be, I don't know if that was the year, but Greg Maddux absolutely had some small Octobers for sure. All right, postseason pitching, Randy Johnson. Now, of course, he pitched very well against the Yankees with the Diamondbacks. Pitching... and against the Yankees early in the wild card 95, in 11 series, his ERA is 3.50. And
what's his career ERA?
I'd have to jump back up to that. But I don't think it was that. And even though he had some early years with the Expos where he couldn't throw strikes, and then he got old, whatever, with the Yankees and others. But point being, when you think of Randy Johnson, do you think 3.50 ERA?
No.
I think of a guy that nobody could touch. So that is a drop-off from the great, transcendent all-timer that he was for basically 20 years.
Greg Maddux, in 89, he had one bad start with the, I shouldn't say one bad start. He was 0-1.
With the Cubbies.
2 games started, 7 and a third innings, 13.5 ERA.
There you go.
That was 89, but I was referencing 93.
I know you are. I know, with the Braves.
93, 4.97 ERA.
There you go. What did he do in 96?
Greg Maddux.
What did he do in 96 against the Yankees in the World Series?
Started one game.
Yep.
7. Why did he only start one game? That doesn't. Am I looking at the right thing here? Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
No, wait. Hold on. I'm not looking at. In 96, it says he was 1-0. Is this breaking it down by series? Yeah, 1-0 against the Dodgers. Let's see, go to the Yankees.
It should be right. Yeah, sequentially.
Oh, underneath it. Okay, I see what I was screwing that up.
They break it down a little bit interestingly.
He had a 1.72 ERA in 2 starts.
Yeah,
he was great
I think he started that game. I went to a bunch of them. I think he started. There was one game. This is so many years ago. Geez, there was a game where McGriff hit a home run off the foul. But it was the second game because obviously Yankees got smoked in game 1 after the rain out. That's when Andrew Jones just tattooed. Everybody did Pettit. And then game 2 was McGriff. I think McGriff hit a home run off the foul pole. And I thought that Maddux started that game. And I know the Yankees only scored, or I think they only scored 1 or 2 runs. So he actually probably pitched very well early in that series.
6-2 final, something like that. They crushed him the first night.
Destroyed him.
And then that second night was more competitive. I don't have the exact game on
didn't Maddux start the game 6 when Girardi hit the triple? Might be off on that. Did he have 1 or 2 starts in the World Series?
Let me see here. 96.
I know, just throwing you through a rabbit hole here.
96 World Series. He had 2 starts.
He did. I thought he started the clincher in 96 when Girardi hit the triple that probably should have been caught in center field. I thought he started that game.
Yeah.
I'll double check. Either way.
I don't have the exact
So many Yankee playoff moments, it's hard to keep count.
It is?
I mean, actually it is. I'm saying that like a jerk, but it is.
BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1019. Calvin is calling from Washington Heights. What's up, Calvin?
Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon, guys. I do disagree. The guy made a point about playoffs, but Max Fried is not a better pitcher than Valdez. Numbers speak for itself. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Look at the numbers in the last 5 years or 6 years of Valdez and Max Fried. And doability. Max Fried is always hurt. He's like Mr. Softy. Dude is always getting in the
Fried's
injury.
better.
Let
me ask you this, Calvin. Let me ask you this. Now, we can
200
Max Fried today?
I don't know. The guy won 19 games. He had a 2.5 ERA with the Yankees.
And look at the ERA from the last 5 years. Let's not talk just of the Yankees. Let's talk about multiple years. Let's not just talk one season, two seasons, three seasons,
but
four
Calvin,
seasons,
hold on. We will. I got you. I respect the going back in history. Hold on a sec, though. Hold on.
That's like you comparing Aaron Judge as a hitter, right-handed hitter. I heard Sal say this one, best right-handed hitter I've ever seen. Is he better than Albert Pujols in his prime?
I think he is, and I think Sal does too.
Yeah, I do.
Is he better than Miguel
Calvin,
Cabrera?
Calvin, let me ask you something. What part of Aaron Judge is the best player I've ever seen didn't you understand?
No, you said he was the best right-handed.
No, I didn't. I said he's the best
seen.
player that I've ever seen. And thank you for the call. I said he was the best player. Bonds used to be that.
Griffey's in the conversation.
Yeah, sure. But for me, if you're asking me, Sal Licata, and that's what I'm doing, giving you my opinion, forever it was Bonds is the best player I've ever seen. I know Griffey's part of the conversation. Some people say whatever. It turned a few years ago, before even the 63 home runs, whatever it was, 62. It was Aaron Judge. He's the best player I've ever seen, and we get to watch him every day. That was it. So what part of that don't you get when you say, whoa, what about Pujols? What about Cabrera? Judge, I don't know how more clear you could be. Aaron Judge is the best baseball player that I have ever seen, period. Doesn't mean that he is the best. It means that's the best for me.
I think that's easy to interpret. I feel you.
You can't picture the guy. You do, he makes you pay. He hits home runs every which way. He's a great fielder as well. He's a leader. He's a cap. Like, there's a million reasons why.
It's not a crazy statement. Now, there's just certain, other players, because they were so deficient in one area, whether they were a light fielder or a minus on the bases, that are great hitters that just can't enter the conversation as best all around.
Right.
Because, again, they were deficient in something to the point where you just can't put them on that list. Like Miguel Cabrera, great. I think Miggy's one of the best right-handed hitters of all time. Same with Albert Pujols, for sure.
Yeah. Well, A-Rod Manny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A-Rod Manny, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I think A-Rod, was one of the top 15 players of all time. But I think Manny is one of the best 5 or 6 right-handed hitters I've ever seen in my lifetime, just in terms of pure average, that kind of stuff, power ratio, discipline. I mean, it's obviously subjective here, guys, but if you want to go back even before that, you want to talk about Ricky as the greatest leadoff hitter?
Right.
All right, that's a conversation. Talk about Griffey doing what he was doing in center field with that power. That's a conversation. I'm not saying that we're right. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hit 60 home runs or 50-plus home runs every year, and your OPS is 100 points higher than anybody else in baseball, it's not an outlandish statement to say what you just said.
It's absurd that somebody would take it the wrong way. I don't even know how we got on that topic. Also, not to mention that Judge is doing it cleanly. Where I said Bonds was the best player I've ever seen, a lot of what Bonds did, he did on PEDs. We're assuming Aaron Judge is clean, and to do what he's doing to be that much better than everybody else. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Shohei? I understand that. I'm still siding with Aaron Judge, at least for now. I would need to see a little bit more from Ohtani as far as the pitching goes, but Judge plays the field every single day, so there's a lot of reasons why, but I would have Judge. And as far as the best power hitter that I've seen prior to Judge, if I go best...
Pure power.
Pure power for me. You have a guess of who I'm going to answer?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's got to be Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
He's the best power hitter I've ever seen prior to Aaron Judge. And Judge is far superior in the other areas than McGwire.
I bet you a lot of people, I just want to double check this, I bet you a lot of people forget that Mark McGwire, and by the way, I was right. It was Maddox that did start Game 6, clincher at the stadium, Girardi triple, center field, Yanks 1-3-2.
Yeah,
Jimmy
why'd you doubt yourself?
No, I got a lot on my mind. Maybe that's the short answer. I think there was one year, back to Mark McGwire, there was one year, and I know it with Team USA in '84. I mean, he was legit. USC, clearly 49. I think the number was 49 home runs, rookie record. I mean, Mark McGwire had as easy a power, that's why he didn't need the PEDs, as anybody that I've ever seen. And maybe Harmon Killebrew or some of these big boppers back in the day, Boog Powell, I don't know. But for me, it's Mark McGwire. But he did have a year. Did he hit under 200 or just at 200?
91. 201.
Yeah, okay. Now, the other thing that people probably forget about Mark McGwire is that he won a couple of gold gloves. Mark McGwire, before he bulked up and really lost all sorts of mobility, was a pretty good first baseman.
Yeah.
He won a couple of Gold Gloves.
He was an incredible power hitter, and that was even before the PEDs. I would assume. I don't know the exact timeline.
I don't think you look at the picture of him as a rookie, and then even with Team USA, like he's thin.
49 homers in 1987 pre-PED. Like that's a huge deal.
That was the rookie record before Judge broke it, before Pete broke it.
Agree, but if you hit 49 homers now, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But with the balls, with the pitching, with the ballparks, in 87?
Yeah.
To do that as a rookie?
It's
unheard of.
It's wild. He was great.
BT and Sal on the Fan Perfect Parlay Pick segment. When we come back, we'll get back to your calls as well. 888-808-1019.
All right, let me hit you with a little FanDuel Friday. Cranking up the NBA happy hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern. FanDuel's dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boost, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. Hey, there's a lot of promos at FanDuel. Many really, really fun. A lot of you guys know about this, but this is a different kind of promo because it's your weekly pregame NBA happy hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/BT to grab your reward before the clock expires. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. Safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel's the official sportsbook of the Fan. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards non-withdrawable. There you go. Spit it out there. Dope. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
I'm Denton Day from the BetMGM Network here to help you beat the books. We're headed to the American Championship between North Texas and Tulane. We're taking over 66.5. It's a massive number, but these are massively successful offenses. Tulane is averaging 28.7 points per game, and North Texas is averaging 46.8. They're the highest scoring offense in the country. Expect a lot of offense tonight. Take the over 66.5. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the Northern Lights. drink cocoa on the beach, or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, so you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
FanDuel Friday is turning it up with NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all designed to bring that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo, it's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/GO to grab your reward before the clock expires. That's FanDuel.com/GIO. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid fast. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Warm up your winter at DreamWorks Water Park inside American Dream. Over 40 rides, record-breaking slides, and the all-new Gabby's Dollhouse splash pad for the littlest swimmers. Just minutes from Manhattan. Tickets start at $59. Book now at AmericanDream.com.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Time for the BT and Sal football picks, brought to you by Cash App.
It is week 14, perfect parlay picks segment. The leaderboard, it looks a lot different post the Turkey Day teaser. BT hit another perfect parlay. Hoff is in the pole position, 215 points. BT right behind him, 210 points. I am 100 points in the rear at 110 on the year in third place. And just in case you forgot or you don't know, each week we pick a parlay. It could be a 2-teamer, a 3-teamer, or a 4-teamer. They're each worth different amount of points. 2 is worth 25, 3 is worth 50. A 4-team is worth 100. I'm going to have to take a shot here at a 4-teamer when we go. In addition to that, you pick the winner of the Jets and Giants each week, which is worth 5 points just straight up. I should say, while I am 100 points back in third place, I do have the best overall record on the year at 20-18. BT is 18-19. Hoff is 23-27. BT, you're on a heater. Keep it going. Take it away.
I'm going to try, Sally. There's my music. Sounded a lot better last couple of weeks as we have, you're right, Heatville we have entered. Now, the good part about this, after falling behind by multiple touchdowns here, if you will, you know, how to air it out, how to take a couple of shots downfield. Guess what? We're back to the entire playbook now. I could go 4, I could go 3, I could go 2, and I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go a little conservative this week now that I've wiggled my way back into contention. So a 2-team parlay as I look to eventually clip Big Hop, who is a defending champion as well. He's won one of these 2, and Sal won the other. Number 1. All right. I mean, you want to talk about a dirt game. I don't think I will not watch this game for 1 second, but the over-unders just struck me as irresponsibly low. And, you know, I like these over-unders. Served me well lately. The over-under Tennessee at the Browns, 34.5. Now, I mean, I know both of these teams stink. I did check the weather. Obviously, the weather is important with this. It looks okay, although that could fluctuate. What I do like about it, first of all, I told you how I do this. I look at a game, my first instinct, if it either hit, like I'm like, no touch or, ooh, I like this, and then I'll try to substantiate that with some numbers and some facts or some betting trends. Now, the betting trend I like here is that the over-under opened up at a 33.5. It's been bet up now a full point, which in betting is a lot. So I'm going to take the over. Titans at the Browns, 34.5. And then, I almost feel like I'm tempting fate here because I don't really have a great feel either way, but enough to make it and throw a 15-yard out route here. Jaguars, home dogs, Sal. That's something that you and I have liked. We like to latch on to that. You get a home dog. and you have a home dog against a team that's going the wrong way. The Colts have lost 2 straight. Not wishing anything ill will on Daniel Jones. I like him. I've got a lot of respect for him. His legs a little jacked up still, and when he can't run, they're not the same team. Gardner's obviously banged up as well. Give me the Jags, who are playing some crisp football here, putting up points, plus 1.5 as they host, and I think they will straight up beat the Colts. So, really quickly in summation, over 34.5. Titans at the Browns in a dog game, and then an important game, Jags plus 1.5 to straight up beat, but obviously cover against the Colts.
All right, there you go. Now, Hop, who was flexing his muscle really all year long after hitting that 4-team parlay. Well, it is so, big boy. You got BT breathing down your neck. Pressure back on. What do you have here, Hoppy?
So, I was going to go for a 4-teamer, but I actually changed my mind.
You're going for a 4-teamer?
No, I'm going for a 3-teamer.
Really?
Yeah, the Giants aren't playing.
The first time ever.
Yeah, the Giants aren't playing this week, so I usually add them to the mix, so I'm going to skip it. I'm only going to do 3. Obviously, I'm going to take some winners. We're going to Atlanta, Seattle, -7. They're going to smoke Atlanta. It's just this team is just unstoppable. They might be the best team in the NFC. So I'm picking them to win -7 at Atlanta. That's Seattle.
By the way, that was almost my 3-teamer. I love that. I actually think you get a crowd. I might even bet that on the side. Like, I really like Seattle.
Why don't you leave it out? Why don't you throw it in?
I don't know. I just last second removal.
All right.
Smells like a
Browski?
No, I was going to use a word that I
Just
can't
get
use.
to the pick, please. Jeez. Oh, good God. What's happening?
They don't have to worry about us. They got to worry about him finishing strong.
So I'm going to Tampa Bay. I like this. I know it's -8 for Tampa Bay, but New Orleans sucks. I think Godwin's back again for Tampa Bay, so I feel like they're going to just explode offensively. I'll give the points. Tampa Bay -8 versus New Orleans, so 2 big spreads. But then I have to go to MetLife with my final pick, and you know what I have to do.
It's
BT.
going against the Jets.
You know what I have to do, BT. Miami -3 all day.
All right, there you have it. Hoff with his.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Why do you always go against me with the Jets? It's like your personal torment.
It's not.
You do it all the time.
You do know, by the way, it's not you. It's that they suck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just take it personally. I do. I'm sad, bro. I'm wounded. I'm sensitive. I'm broken.
Although I do think Hoff does.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he does a little thing to go at you personally. All right, Rami, hit it for me here. I'm in the rear. I have to go for a 4-team parlay. There's no chance without it. 4-team parlay, 100 points, and I hope to go out a winner here with 4 games. You mentioned that we like the home dogs. Game number 1 for me, I'm going against my Broncos.
Ooh, okay.
7.5 points. The Broncos, all they do is play close teams. I know the Raiders stink. I also know that sometimes there's a reason why these lines are what they are. I trust Pete Carroll, maybe the running game a little bit. I don't trust the Broncos to blow anybody out. So give me the Raiders as a home dog, plus 7.5 points, game number 1. Maybe Brock Bowers gets free a little bit there.
He's so good.
Game number 2, this one I didn't think that hard about. Give me the Rams, bounce back over Arizona. In Arizona, laying 8.5 points, they should win that game by double digits easy. I think McVay can motivate his team off of a loss. They will bounce back in a big way and pound the Cardinals. That's game number 2. Game number 3, we're going head-to-head here.
Okay.
I like the Colts -1.5.
You do?
I do, because I think they're going to bounce back. I don't believe in the Jaguars. Could be wrong. I think the Colts are better, obviously, with the broken leg with Daniel Jones or whatever it is that he's dealing with. That hurts them. They can still run the football consistently. They're due for a big bounce back here. I don't think that they're as good as they were before. I don't think they're bad enough to lose 3 straight and have the Jaguars win 4 straight. Give me the Colts on the road, and I think that line is what it is for a reason. Give me the Colts -1.5 in Jacksonville. 4th game, the game I'm looking forward to most this Sunday. Give me the Packers at home over the Bears. This is simple. Do you believe in the Bears or do you believe in the Packers? I believe in the Packers. I think people look at that line and say, 6.5 points? What are you kidding me? Give me Chicago. They can win outright. They've been great. Look at it. They've been red hot. They've won, 5 in a row. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, shirtless, all those things. I think Packers put them back in their place. Give me Green Bay -6.5. Raiders at home over the Broncos +7.5. Rams on the road in Arizona -8.5. Packers at home -6.5 over the Bears. And the Colts on the road -1.5 against the Jaguars. Week 14, perfect parlay pick segment. As for the straight up winner, God.
It's a tough one. I don't know what to do here.
I got to go Miami. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for the Jets. And what's the difference? 5 points. I probably should just pick the Jets and root for them. I think Miami's they're not awful. They're better. They've been better. And give me Miami. I think Dolphins win again.
I don't feel great about this. I don't. You know, if I was behind, like, what am I, 5 back here? Well,
yeah,
this could actually be
it matters, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if I'm going to beat Hoff, ultimately, it's not going to come down to the Jets-Dolphins games. I'm going to put some good karma out there. Give me the Jets.
There you go.
Let's go.
And Hoff?
Yeah, you say that, but then the Mets lose, miss the playoffs by a game every single year. So this means a lot. I'm going to take the easy Miami pick.
All right, there you have it. That does it for the Week 14 Perfect Parlay Pick segment, BT and Sal. Let's take a break.
Sal,
Yes.
did you realize that I didn't even realize this until I just checked it out. And when you said you were taking the Colts there, do you realize the Colts have lost 10 straight games in Jacksonville? 10!
No, even more so they're due. That's one of the old...
Look at it that way.
Well, when I used to gamble quite a bit at casinos,
yep.
We were having fun or whatever, do a little roulette.
Yep.
If I see it 10 straight on red, I'm like, it's got to be black.
Yeah, but it's statistically provable the other way, actually.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I have since learned. Then there was a period where I went through where, it's 6 in a row red. Ride the streak.
Oh.
Ride the streak.
All right.
So, but...
Which one was more successful?
Neither.
Yeah, you're still asking for a free steak.
Guess what?
Because they took your lunch.
Guess what would happen? 6 in a row red, it's going to come up red. 0-0.
Dude.
10 in a row black, it's going to go up red. 0-0.
Let me ask you a question. Is there we've all been here, a more frustrating, helpless feeling? And really just, it's at this point, it's anger too, that just kind of pulsates through your body when, and it's all relative. You go into a casino with X amount of disposable income. That's why it's all relative, right? So whatever number you have.
Yeah.
And you lose that. And then you're like, all right, I can make it. But you go in, you actually go in with money, so you don't have to hit the ATM and get banged out for $6 to get money from a casino.
Yeah.
So whether it's 500, 1,000, 100, it's all relative. You lose it, and then you go to the ATM. And then you take out now this has happened to me. Then you take out some money.
Yeah.
And you lose that.
Yeah. And then you go back in.
Well, this is the part that drives me insane. The way I have things set up is that I can only take out X amount of money each day. So, like, if I get banged out too early and it's, say, 10:45 at night, I got to wait till 12:01 I can go back again. Now, this is years ago. I mean, it's pre-kids, and I've had some big nights where I've won, but I just feel like
here's the
nuts.
bottom line. And I've been there before plenty of times, whether it be at the track, Saratoga, whatever it may be, Atlantic City, or at the casino in Saratoga. That was the last time I was in there.
I know you got crushed there,
dude.
In Saratoga. You told me you got washed.
Got beat bad.
Yeah, you said that.
Bad. And then we washed down the bad beat in the Racino.
What is that?
The casino there. It's like
an actual casino, like blackjack, or is it like digital poker stuff?
No. Well, you have roulette. I don't know about blackjack, but I don't.
They actually have tables and dealers?
I don't think real tables. I think it's digital. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, gotcha.
But we washed it down with that, and again took a bath with the roulette stuff. Point is, if you're in a casino and you got to go to the ATM, you probably should call it quits. I think that's a sign. Maybe one trip.
Yeah. Second trip is absolutely
one trip
unacceptably
max.
Bad night.
One trip max to the casino casino to the ATM. That's it. If you have to make more than 2, instead of walking to the ATM, just walk right out the door.
Dude,
come back.
There's no way that I'm tapping out. Yeah, that's me at the casino. Now hit me. I'm sticking real fast here. I forget the exact denomination. I think it was $160,000 that I actually thought that I won. No. So I swear. And I just bought Jen's engagement ring. And it's not small because I got married late. Yeah. So it was at that point before my home, the largest investment that I've ever made in my life.
Still to this day, it was mine.
Okay.
Well, maybe not the
outside
house.
The home. The
Talking
second.
about cash.
No, me too. 100%. And I was playing blackjack, obviously, and there was a game, and you know what I loved? It was stunning. I mean, I love the side bets. So I'm also the kind of guy who plays blackjack. I do what I do.
You're an animal, man.
Oh, God. I used to be. I'm back in the cage. I've gotten older. But I used to play 2 hands at once. And I would do every side bet possible. I just enjoy that.
I don't even know what that means.
The short version, whatever.
Yep.
So I'm playing, but this night I'm playing one hand because I'm with 5 of my boys, and it's just me and my best. We have the whole table. Just spent whatever I spent on the ring, wasn't cheap. And I think the side bet was if you get dealt two queen of hearts out of the chute, and then the dealer has 21. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. then you win. It's like 1,000 to whatever the hell the denomination was that was ludicrously high. Boom, Queen of Heart. Boom, Queen of Heart. Bang, face card for the dealer. They pull up. Now, if the dealer has an ace, I win, I think it was $160,000. Right. They pull up a 10. I miss it by one spot. Now, I still win like 9, 10, like I still did pretty well. I was this close to winning almost $200,000 on the spot. And I remember, this was crazy to me. I was so mad. A couple of drinks, you're getting all revved up. I was so mad. My friends are like, dude, why are you mad? He just won 9,000. I'm like, because I thought I won 160, you idiots. That's why.
You getting irrationally mad? I can't see
Not
that.
anymore.
Me neither.
No,
BT Tal on the fan. Let's finish up on the phones. We come back. 888-808-1019.
All right, man. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex, Total Ortho's got you covered. Spots throughout Long Island, Queens, and now got it even in West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries. Get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctor, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. So visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com. Schedule the appointment today. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you. Let's get the Odyssey Sports Minute right now. Brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Real clothes for real life.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Cowboys' slim playoff chances may have disappeared after last night's game against the Lions. The most disappointing part was that their revamped defense fell apart in a 44-30 loss. Dallas will probably look back at this season with regret. Once they traded for defensive tackle Quinton Williams, that side of the ball looked fixed. Turns out, it's not. And the Cowboys have to go back to the drawing board. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business. I was able to build beautiful furniture, but had no handle on the business side of things, so quickly fell behind in my taxes. 1 year of being behind in taxes quickly turned into 5 years. I ended up owing almost $37,000.
Then Joe found Tax Relief Advocates.
I would hear ads for Tax Relief Advocates. One day it just clicked. This is my exact situation that I'm in. So I wrote down the number and called from the car when I got home that day. TRA saved me 99% of what I owed the IRS, and that brought a huge sense of relief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Joe did and called TRA for a consultation.
I'm really happy that I made that call, and I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-513-5321. 800-513-5321. That's 800-513-5321.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology in Optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric. And discover the comfort of the spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonuses count. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Right now, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get 500 points for logging into their Lowe's app for the first time. Download the app and take advantage of all your pro benefits today. Valid 12/1/25 to 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login pro organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
On the Fan, let's finish up here on the phones. We're just talking about some blackjack stories. Oh, by the way, BT, before we get more into that, the Breakaway Academy is the name of the school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that Joey goes to, run by, I guess, Mr. Zegras. I have no idea, but just wanted to make sure I got that name out there right. It's really, he's having such a great time. Loves it.
He loves his hockey.
Oh, my God,
That's
he does.
awesome.
So hopefully we go to the Garden on Sunday night, thanks to Cadillac. We were just talking about some Vegas trip stories and blackjack. I don't know what I'm doing with it, and maybe I could get into it. How did you overcome when you first had your experience where guys berate you at the table? Because that's for me. I got berated at my first walk in, excited. Oh my God, my first time in Vegas, put some money down, and I hit. You know, the last time I played blackjack prior to Vegas was with my grandmother. So I
play a little pinochle on Christmas Eve.
Right. Hit, pad, whatever it may be. Hit, stay. So I walk in with a smile on my face. Here I am in Vegas for the first time. Yeah, hit. And the guy's like, you bleep, bleep, bleep. And I never wanted to play again because I got berated. How'd you get over that?
Okay, so I told you one part of the story there. I can't tell you on the air again. What I just told you about me and my buddy when I first went there. All right. I think the way I got over it, and I had a similar story. Now, full disclosure, dude, I'm just out of college. I'm a young kid, so excuse the ignorance here, audience. I'm blasted out of my mind. I don't know how else to say it. We are rocked. So it's probably like 2 in the morning, and I remember this guy wearing a Packers cheesehead berated my buddy, and my buddy could barely keep his eyes open, and I was still, because I never lose it.
Right.
I don't, somehow. I knew it was time to get up. I just knew it was time to leave because it was not going to end well. He's aggressive. You know, I probably would have snapped it because the guy's yelling at us. I'm like, let's go. And the next day I remember, so how did I get over it? I just basically left the situation before it got worse.
But then
when I went back the next day, I'm like, all right, let me calculate some stuff and let me use my brain that God actually gave me and figure how hard is it? But what I really remember about that night leaving the blackjack table, serendipitously kind of tipped me off to a game that I really like. Horrible odds, among the worst in the house. You all know this song, but hey, have you ever, because you don't love the 80s and the 70s hard rock, you ever hear the song, Hop, I know you know this, Ride, 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 let it ride.
Yeah.
And it goes...
Sure.
So there, you haven't. All right, so there's a Let It Ride game. And there's only like...
I've heard that, Let It Ride.
There's only like, there's like Pie Gal. There's not many Let It Rides. There was like 2 of them. And that song drew me in. I'm like, God, what is this? Order another drink. Of course, lose more money.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, trying to figure it out. Lost like an idiot. But yes, whenever I woke up the next day, and I sat down with a cup of coffee and I tried to figure out the numbers, blackjack came to me very easy.
So you learned, though, eventually. I got demoralized so badly by this idiot yelling at me that I just quit.
But that's a real thing. Yeah. That does dissuade people from sitting there. Now, to be fair, he could have gone about it in a different way. I'll tell you how I go about it now.
Try to teach.
Well, yeah, you don't want to overstep your bounds and teach,
also,
but
maybe there should be separate tables because just giving
like
you
beginners
because as a beginner, I want to just go in and have fun. Let me lose my money the way that I want to lose it. I don't care what the rules are. I don't need to count the cards or know the numbers or care about what's your hand. I'm worried about my hand. What am I worried about the table for? I know that like the rules make
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, but still, there should be beginners and then not because I get berated and it's like screw you. I don't want to deal with this anyway.
You don't want to go. It is demoralizing. Well, they do have beginners tables. It's called the $5 table.
Is that what it is? I was probably playing quarters at the time because I remember.
Playing 25 a hand?
I think I just walked in with a $100 bill and probably
you played 4 hands just with.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like it was 2 seconds and I was done.
I remember. I'll never forget this. My dad
ruined
comes.
that guy's night. Screw you.
Yeah, I know. Well, before I get to that, just very quickly, I think the way you deal with it, and again, I don't do this. Not that I wouldn't, but I just haven't had time. You go like if somebody's about to do something like if they're going to hit on a 6 and the dealer's got a 5 or a 6 or a 4, like that's Idiotville. But if they really don't know and they're not drunk and belligerent, I'll say, I don't know. I don't know if you want to hit that. Like, very nice to let them know, like, you're probably going to screw all of us, but I'll say it nice. And almost every time they're very receptive to it.
Okay, but let me ask you then, what's the fun of playing if you already know what you're going to do with the hand that you're dealt? Instead of like thinking about it like the neophyte like me, you know what, I'll hit. And I know that's going to drive you nuts and it's not the right thing to do mathematically according to the table.
Yep.
But then where's the fun if you could just play my hand for me?
Okay. This answer will probably be a little weird. I'm not playing to have fun.
Okay,
I'm playing to compete and I'm playing to win money.
So then
that's honestly my mindset. Right. I'm good at blackjack.
Right.
I know you don't always win. I'm not saying trust me, I've taken a bath a million times. But when I go to play blackjack, I've got whatever my bankroll is, whatever it is at that point relative to me, and it's not $50. If I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play. And I'm looking to win. I'm looking to destroy the cards because I know what I'm doing. Now, if you don't, you got to leave. Otherwise, you have a really bad night. It's not like I'm not shooting horse in the backyard. I'm not playing a video game against my son. I'm trying to win money.
But there are some people who just want to go to a casino and they have $200 to spend for the night.
I agree. Yeah, pull the slots and by yourself.
No. What if I want to play blackjack?
Well, then
it took me out. Where's the kids' table? Put me at the kids' table.
I mean, I would say start at the $5 table because most people who know what they're doing aren't playing the $5 table.
Mike is in Clark, New Jersey. What's up, Mike?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I have a extremely similar story to yours, BT. I was at the blackjack table. I love blackjack, and the particular side bet you're talking about is called Lucky Ladies.
Yes.
Yes. I put the $10 down.
Yes.
Got the 2 queens of hearts.
Here we go.
And the dealer was showing an ace.
Yes.
So all the other times they get blackjack.
Yeah.
So they get called a pit boss. They put the camera on the table. Dealer flips over a 7.
So you still won the hand though, because you still that's a 20 against an 18, but big deal. How much would you have won? Do you remember?
No, I just had $10 on it, so it was like 1,001. So whatever that is,
that's
10,000.
It is, yeah. There you go.
And thanks for the call.
If you had
Mike.
$1 and it was 1,001. It's 1,000. It would be 10,000. I mean, 10,000.
I think I have. I don't know if I talked about this on the air, but on Thanksgiving I did those touchdown parlays.
You did not say this at all.
I talked to you off the air about it. Or no,
I don't think I know this about it.
You do like you could. I think I did mention this, but anyway, real quick. To me, that's now my new thing. If I'm going to try to have some fun, like $5-10 to win $30K. You pick multiple players throughout on Thanksgiving specifically. I had, let's say, Tesla and Christian Watson. And then I had in the next game, CD Lamb, whatever. Yeah. Pick a player on each team.
Mahomes, Kelsey. Yep.
Correct. And there were certain combinations that for a $10 bet paid $30,000 out. Like, that's insane to me. Now, I understand that it's unlikely.
The odds are minuscule.
But it is possible. Yeah, but also the risk is...
Dude, somebody's got to win.
Correct.
Somebody's going to win.
And even if you lower the odds or raise the odds, okay, so $10 to win $10,000.
Yeah,
now, I want to go for the 30. Like 10 grand's not,
I know.
30 guarantee make me feel good about myself. Anyway, point is those.
Well, maybe you and I can become professional blackjack players now.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Certainly would not do that. What time are we closing here, Rami? What time are you hitting the close? Okay, so you're hitting it in a little while. No, I wouldn't do that. But what I would say is I'd rather risk less on the $10 big time parlay
have a little
hit.
fun. When you keep gambling fun, that's the smart thing.
What's the point of putting $200 on the Chiefs this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, to win $200. What's that going to do for you?
You might not even win 2 if it depending upon the odds. I'd have to see what it's at right there.
But if you're lighting $5 or $10 on fire just to have fun, saying, you know what, I'm going to take a risk. Here's my lotto ticket for the day.
Yeah.
It's just not random numbers. You pick guys who you believe could score within reason.
Yeah.
I hit a couple of them, so I went probably like 4 out of the 6, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It
Listen,
meaning the players.
Of course. As much as I feel like I know blackjack, I've never felt dumber than trying to play craps. I know we have to end the conversation. I have no idea what the hell's happening with craps.
BT and Sal, player to watch, sponsored by ELEC 825. Building our future, Collars & Co. and the original dress collar polo, of course, from Collars & Co. For me, BT, I'm looking at Josh Allen, seeing what he can do against the Bengals. The Bills here need to continue building on their performance from a week ago.
I'll go with